Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast Live. Yes. And we got a pretty decent show tonight. We are definitely we're gonna talk, of course, about the Lakers. We're going to talk about the OKC Thunder, as you can see from the rundown, and then we're going to do some NFL draft talk. And obviously, because the draft is 7 rounds, there's so many players and all that. What we're going to do, we each picked a first round mock draft by one of the, I'm not going to say celebrity, but one of the NFL quote unquote draft experts, and we're going to kind of go over those, and we're going to discuss the draft picks as predicted that stood out to us, kind of where we would go with it and what we think about it. As you can see, Transformer's not here with us tonight, but filling in once more is the host of the Be Ready Sports Podcast, and look out for that this Saturday evening. Laker Nation, what's good, Laker Nation? How you doing, man?
What's good? Maintaining. Long, busy day.
Yeah, I hear that, but that's okay. Laker Nation, man, just so you know, Celtics are up 40-45 over Orlando right now. I know you don't care, but I just felt the need to share that with you. I know you're in a better mood after last night. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it was expected. I didn't expect them to lay to bed 2 games in a row.
That's right. But
it's kind of ironic who was doing all the fussing and all the excuses that came up after game 2.
Right, and we'll get to all of that. So we're gonna we'll probably take a couple minutes here and just kind of hang around. Good evening, Chief Sid Bubba. How you doing? Shout out to the boys from Annapolis, Anchors Away.
I want to give a shout out.
My bad.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Sid too, man. I think on your call yesterday, you called something that actually JJ actually did yesterday. You called out when Ant-Man gets the ball to jump rotating to a zone, which is what the Lakers did, and it kind of slowed down their offense. And so I wanted to personally give a shout out to you. I told Bruce that I was going to do it, so
he did.
To kick off the show, I'm gonna give a personal shout out to you, Sid, because you called that.
Right. So we'll get to that, and we'll get to that shortly. But we're just gonna take a couple minutes, see if we get a couple more people in the chat, and then we will get rolling. So you like my hoodie, Laker Nation? What do you think, man?
Oh my gosh, here we go.
We're gonna have some guys drafted tomorrow night, man. You like it?
Man, only because you gonna be on the guest of the Be Ready Sports Podcast, the first ever one. I'm gonna let you do you tonight.
I was just asking.
We're gonna do some Notre Dame talk on Saturday.
That's right.
And I hope Steve call in too.
Oh, the king of the chat's gonna call in.
Well, my co-host is a Florida State guy, so he ain't gonna appreciate the Notre Dame talk either.
No, I can't imagine he would, especially after the Irish 52 on him last season.
Yeah, it was brutal.
That
was a brutal butt kicking.
Oh yeah, well we had to do it, I had to do it.
I just need my Trojans to step up this year, man. Quit laying in bed every time they play Notre Dame, man. It's been frustrating the last few years, man. They be laying in bed, man. They be.
Well, the Irish went through that stretch too. When y'all were at the top of the sport. So
no, last year pissed me off, Bruce. Last year pissed me off, Bruce. I'm gonna give you your kudos where it's due. Man. Y'all beat the brakes off. Y'all made Caleb Williams look like.
That's 2 years ago, but yeah, that game made me feel very, very good.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago. But because he was
the year prior. He won the damn Heisman on us, man. Looking like Houdini, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson all rolled into one out there, man. He made us look terrible the year before, so we had a.
It pissed me off, man. He like disappeared in all our big games, and I was like, y'all talking about this dude going number 1?
He went number 1, didn't he?
And man, and look what he did.
Yeah, he sure did.
Look at his first season. I mean, the USC faithful called that that was like, man, this dude is just choking against NFL type defenses.
Well, he wasn't in. I don't know about necessarily at USC. I think what happened was the Irish kind of exposed him and exposed when you played a certain level of defense and with certain level of physicality, kind of what you might see. And then he gets into the NFL, and he's not exactly in the best spot either to have success in terms of coaching, in terms of scheme, in terms of offensive line play. I think he got sacked the most times in the league last year. So there's a lot of things that could have been better to help him. But that's another talk for another day. What's going on, Edward? How you doing, brother? How you doing? So before we get started, I saw this right before we got on. Defensive lineman for the 85 Chicago Bears, one of the greatest defenses of all time, Steve Mongo McMichael, finally lost his battle with ALS. I think it's ALS. Is it ALS? But anyway, he passed away not a couple hours ago this evening, 67 years old. So shout outs to the McMichael family. I remember Mongo as a football player. Then I watched him as a professional wrestler in WCW for a little while. He was a member of the New Four Horsemen, and Mongo was that dude. But the pain is over now, and hopefully whatever form of the afterlife he believed in, he will get that. So
Well,
moment of silence for Mongo McMichael. Yeah, you were saying Lincoln Nation?
I was saying if you was gonna put moment of silence, mute your mic.
Oh, yeah. I should have. My bad. Yeah.
Nah, you good. Nah, yeah, Mondo was that dude, man, down there. My dad was a huge Chicago Bears fan, and he used to tell me stories about those '85 Bears, that ridiculous defense they had,
Yeah,
and
man.
while I'm watching McMichael out there play, he was like they were. Bruce ain't gonna like this, but he was like they were the Pittsburgh Steelers before the Pittsburgh Steelers. When so I mean
Um, they were super elite. They were super elite. Buddy Ryan had that defense coached up. The 46. Um, yeah, they were super elite. They were dominant. And the crazy thing is, so they won the title in '85.
85, yeah.
Statistically, the '86 Bears had a better defense. They just didn't win the championship, so nobody thinks about it. But even with all that said, none of them were the Ravens 2000 defense. So I'll just throw that in there.
Oh, here we go.
Well, hey, man.
So you saying the Ravens defense was better than '85?
I'm saying that, yes.
Oh,
Yes. They gave up the least points ever in a 16-game season. They gave up the least rushing yards ever in a 16-game season. I believe they gave up the least total yards ever in a 16-game season. They had the longest stretch ever in history without allowing a 100-yard rusher. Yeah, that defense was. I don't even know what to say. I think they have the record for most shutouts in a single season. I believe with 6. That 2000 Ravens defense, you couldn't do anything. I think they went on a 5-game stretch during that season without scoring an offensive touchdown. They won the Super Bowl. Could you imagine that? Just saying. Steve, no disrespect to the 70 Steelers at all, Steve. I got you, man. They would the steel curtain, incredible. But if you're talking about, I'll just say for one season, what the 2000 Ravens did it's inconceivable. Dominance on all fronts defensively.
I'm giving Bruce a moment of silence so he can have his moment.
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm sure some people want to argue, but I think it's pretty much an
Ain't
arguable.
nobody. I'm not arguing.
What?
I just want to say I'm just giving you your moment of silence so you have your moment while you sipping on your tea.
No doubt. All right, man. You ready to get to it, man? We've been cutting up a little bit before the show started.
Before we start,
Yes.
I gave my shout out. I gave my shout out to Sid Bubba.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I also want to y'all are going to be surprised on what I'm going to say, but
Oh,
I'm gonna give a shout out to Young Disciple for keeping his same passion for his guy and finally admitting that he's not a true Laker fan, that he is legit uh LeBron fan,
was that
which is
necessary?
all I wanted. So
Oh my
um
goodness.
I just want to give him that shout out when he watches the show. And he's not on yet,
I'm sure he'll watch it at some point.
but
But
I'm gonna give him that shout out. So let's go. Let's talk Lakers.
let's do it, man. I'm gonna
Wait,
let you. I'm gonna let you run with this, man, because
you didn't have no
those are
quick
your.
hits?
Nah, no quick hits tonight, man. No quick
Oh.
hits. Yeah, I wanted to get right to it.
Well,
Yeah.
my quick
Sorry,
hit.
go ahead.
I know we're gonna discuss it later, but
Mm-hmm.
my quick hit is something that I do not like about the NBA,
Mm.
which has been a trend lately,
Mm-hmm.
is talking stars leaving their team
Mm.
while they're while they're in playoff
Mm-hmm.
pushes. And the one thing that's disgusting me right now is
Giannis.
the Giannis narrative
Mm-hmm.
that they're planting right now. I don't like it.
Yeah.
They're saying if the latest one thing I saw today that turned my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying if they lose in the first round, that there are several teams already
Yeah.
have assets to give Milwaukee
Mm-hmm.
to lure Giannis out of there, and I think that's
Yeah.
I think that's disgusting.
Miami, Knicks, Nets. Um, I don't think Phoenix is going to try to do it. They're going to try to get a little salary cap relief, but yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure there were rumors in the past about Giannis possibly getting to Golden State, but now with the Jimmy Butler thing, I don't see that
I
happening.
don't see that happening either.
Yeah, but
No,
oh yeah, definitely, man.
the most outrageous one I heard was OKC. They they were
So,
saying because they said the OKC has the most assets, and
mm-hmm,
it's true they do to give um Milwaukee to
mm-hmm.
lure Giannis over there to pair him with SGA.
So I actually a couple weeks ago was listening to some podcast. Can't remember what it was. And bear with us, y'all. We're gonna get to this Lakers thing in a second. But the arg matter of fact, it was the ticket and the truth with Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce saying that Jokic needs to end up in OKC playing with SGA and that they have a package to make that happen. Not saying that it would or that it was even being rumored, but see, I don't. It's so crazy how everything now is they either want to see the stars in a big market or they want to see the stars teamed up with somebody else, and it's like they're openly pushing for that. And I get it because in the Giannis case, they've been talking about that for a while now. The last few years, like if Milwaukee doesn't get it together, Giannis may want out. He may demand a trade. I truly hope he doesn't. But I'll say this: if Giannis goes anywhere, the only place I want to see Giannis, real talk, is the New York Knicks. I want to see him in Madison Square Garden. And the reason why is because you got all these superstars in the league and they're all afraid to go and play under the bright lights in New York City in Madison Square Garden. And I can't figure it out because whoever is the player, the superstar player that's going to bring a championship back to the Knicks, that player will be beyond legendary in NBA history forever. So I'm like, yo, if I know I'm a superstar player, send me to the Knicks. Send me to Madison Square Garden. Let me embrace that challenge. Because if I can bring them a chip, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
it's been what, close to 50 years,
1973, so 52 years.
52 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
weren't even born yet, Bruce.
No, not close. Nah, it was 5 years later that I would have been born. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm just like that's the
Yeah,
place. If he gets straight, that's where I want to see him. I want to see him in the Knicks uniform. But that's me.
but the NBA is in a better place if the top 5 franchises in the NBA are championship contenders.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Agreed.
and we all know who those top five are. We don't
Well,
need.
we know two of them. We know two of them for sure. The others, whatever. But we,
Well, the Knicks is
you know.
three. You know, the Knicks is one of them.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's one of their top five markets.
hmm Lakers, Celtics, Knicks. I'm sure they would love to see the Bulls rise back up. Um, the Heat.
But
I'm trying to
but
think,
but
and
the
Golden
Heat
State. Golden State at this
is
point. Yeah,
it's Golden State, and the other one is the Miami Heat.
yeah, I can, I agree
Or
with
you can no, not Miami Heat. It's Philly.
you. You think it's yeah, okay, I could,
It's
yeah,
Philly. That's the top five biggest markets that they
yeah,
got.
yeah. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
Because remember when Magic and Bird came in,
Mm-hmm.
well the Warriors weren't big. They weren't known
No,
then, but
no,
it was Philly. It was Philly,
right.
Boston,
Dr. J. Up.
L.A.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it was Detroit.
Yeah. Well,
Detroit.
Detroit was like trying to figure it out because I think they got Isaiah in 81 or 82, so they were trying to figure that out. But yeah, I hear you. I hear you. But let's get to the Lakers, man. So I'm gonna just make a quick comment and then I'm gonna let you cook, man, because we saw the Lakers get done up in game one. Minnesota came out, had an incredible shooting night. I think they knocked down a franchise record, 21 threes in game one. They won that game. Going away in Los Angeles, Luka had 37. LeBron had 18. Didn't play particularly well for his standard, right? And so we got on the show the other night, and I'm like, listen, as much as I would love to see the Lakers go down 0-2, I didn't see that happening. I didn't anticipate LeBron having another subpar game. That really surprised me. But, he played well enough, right? But we saw Luka have another relatively strong game. The Lakers locked in on defense. I did not anticipate the T Wolves being able to shoot that well from three again, and they certainly didn't. And your Lakers are now right back in this thing, tied 1-1. Man, talk to me about it.
And I gave Sid his props earlier
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
he called that adjustment on them when Ant Man gets it.
Yeah.
You know, they go into a zone because
Mm-hmm.
the size. If you look at the size advantage, it goes to Minnesota.
That's right.
Yeah, the Lakers um got nice. I don't like saying 3 and D, but they got nice size defensive wings
Right. Right.
out there,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought that was a good idea by putting a bigger body on
Mm-hmm.
on Ant Man early
Yeah.
to frustrate him.
That's right. Don't let him get going. Don't let him
And
get in the
yeah,
rhythm.
you can don't let them get going early like they did like they did in game one.
Mm-hmm.
It was like he was facilitating everything.
Right.
So they took that away,
Mm-hmm.
which was a plus. And Luca, of course, you know did what Luca does,
Luka
and
did what Luka does. That's right.
and LeBron actually didn't try to take over for himself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He picked his spots.
Right.
You know, he was being the coach on the floor,
Mm-hmm.
which I can give him his props for. He
Yeah.
was telling everybody where to go on defense,
Mm-hmm.
where the passes were going.
That's right.
Um, and on offense, he was getting his guys, where they need to be, which is what I've been saying all along. Like you the lead, you gotta if you're the veteran, you gotta
Yeah.
lead.
Yes. That's
You
correct.
gotta do just like what Draymond does for the Warriors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He may get zero buckets himself, but he'll get buckets
Mm-hmm.
for other people, and he'll put
Yeah.
them in defensive positions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot what LeBron did, and AR and Austin Reeves kind of still want to see more from him. If
That's
we're
gonna
going
come though. That's that's
if
gonna
we're
come.
going to go far in the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
he has to have a major push, especially when either LeBron or
Right. Right.
Luka's off the floor. He has to be that third guy to keep the momentum going. He can't shy
Mm-hmm.
away. So he did better. Our bench, played decent, but now you got two on the road coming up. That's when you rely on your bench that's when you well actually on the road you rely on your stars.
Mm-hmm.
So the stars need to really carry them in Minnesota. But
Yeah, no doubt.
that's for the next game. We're talking
Yeah.
about this one. I don't. I think Minnesota's going to make their adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I
They
was
better,
them,
because
if
I
I
think if
was
they
them,
lose this next one, that series is done.
yeah, if I was them, I'll do a makeshift triangle and have Gobert be that anchor in the middle to collapse that, to penetrate that zone. Pause.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's the tallest one out there. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the key is, can he make those reads and can he distribute the ball, which is the question.
I think so. I think they just don't play with him that way. But remember, he's a Euro. He came up in the European system, so that's all part of the way they get taught to play the game. So I believe he can. They just don't generally play that way because they put the ball in Edwards' hands. But I'll tell you, what surprised me, even though LeBron didn't shoot particularly well, because remember I said I fully expected him to have 30 last night or more, right? So it
Yeah,
did surprise me that he only finished with 21, but even though he only had 21, he was +9, right? He's had a terrible plus minus, I think, for most of this season. I would have to check. I feel like it's been in the negative this season though. But he had the +9, 8 of 19, 1 of 5 from three. We know he can fall in love with the three. I think he shot 38% from three this year. So good overall. I wouldn't worry too much about Austin Reeves. Solid game from him, but 0 for 6 from three. We know what he's capable of, right? Obviously, I'm like, sometimes they go a little far with the hillbilly Kobe or the what is it, the Iverson of the Ozarks or whatever that. I'm like, really? Okay, stop it, but he can play and he's gonna be a-okay. So I wouldn't worry too much about Austin Reeves. But overall, man, like I said, I fully anticipated a comeback game for the Lakers, and they did just that, and they completely locked in on defense and took away the most dangerous weapon for the T-Wolves from game one. And you you couldn't have expected, at least I didn't, the Timberwolves to continue to shoot that way, and they didn't. And Kobe of the Ozarks, there we go. Sorry about that. And there we go. It was Transformer who called him like Allen Iverson something, and I was like, really, you gonna put Austin Reeves and Allen Iverson in the same sentence? That's ridiculous. But anyway, um, just a great overall effort last night from the Lakers, which again fully expected, man. So got to give a shout out to the Lakers, shout out to Laker Nation, Sid, Bubba, Young Disciple, all of them. So yeah,
I'm gonna let that one go.
please.
I don't talk about nobody when they're not here.
There
So
you go.
I'm gonna let that one go.
Thank you. We
Um,
appreciate.
but
Uh,
yeah,
yes.
that was expected. Still got a lot of work to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I still need to see.
Excuse
I need to see better in-game adjustments. With
me.
JJ in this playoffs, I know it's only 2 games,
Right. That's
but
yeah.
if you want to lead this team far, you got to make in-game adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
You got to. Um, that adjustment worked.
Mm-hmm.
We that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work in the next one. So
Right.
you gotta make those in-game adjustments because you gotta you've seen this every year, Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in a series, what's working, you stick with what's working,
Yeah.
and
Until they
then
force you to move
and,
away from it.
yeah, until you see the
Mm-hmm.
adjustment that your opponent made,
Then you have to
and
adjust to the adjustment.
then you adjust your adjustment.
That's right.
You have multiple game plans.
Mm-hmm.
You have plan A,
That's right.
and then you have plan B, C, D, and E for any adjustment that they make to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, because you only have one opponent to worry about, so
Well,
it's easier to make those adjustments in a 7-game series because
mm-hmm.
you only have one team to game plan for.
Right. Well, I'll say the plus for JJ Redick, even though he's a rookie in this situation, he's got a couple of very experienced former head coaches on that bench, right? I know he's got Nate McMillan, who is a very good defensive coach. Who's the other? I know they got like 2 more former head coaches on that staff, right? I
You
believe
know,
so.
I don't even remember. I don't know. Remember
I know
offhand
there's
all
at
the
least one
coaches
more.
that they have. I know that's
Yeah.
bad. Sid gonna come for me for that one when he call in. He's like, "How you not gonna know who your coaches are, Laker
Right.
Nation? Your name is Laker Nation." No, I'm just
I
kidding.
know, right? Hey, man, we can't remember it all, man. Listen, trust me, a lot goes into the prep for these shows, man. Laker Nation knows this now.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yes. There we go. Scott Brooks is on that bench. Nate McMillan's on that bench. So you've got 2 very good, experienced former head coaches. So guys who can coach offense and defense. So there you go. All right, you got anything else you wanted to add before we go ahead and open up these phone lines and get a couple calls in about the Lakers and what they did last night?
Yeah, Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to jinx them and make
Mm-hmm.
bold predictions
Okay.
and stuff. But it was
Mhm.
it was expected. It wasn't a shocker
Right. Not at all.
that they won game 2. I mean, it would have
Mhm.
been a shocker if the Lakers would have lost.
Agreed.
Lost game 2.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
um, I just want to see them keep this and going
I
into the
don't.
next one. And
No, I hear you. I hear you.
and I want to see and I do want to see a little bit more out of Austin Reeves, which I think it'll
Okay.
come out. It'll
Yeah.
come out.
I just want to see good basketball, man. And the problem is
So far,
if
we
these
have.
guys are, yeah, if these guys aren't hitting threes though, it's going to be a real problem for the Timberwolves because like Julius Randle had 27 last night, but it was at minus 14. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it wasn't
Right.
an impactful 27.
It doesn't seem like it, right? Doesn't seem like it. So,
But one
you
thing
know,
I will say about the I think the ratings for the playoffs is up this year from last year
mm-hmm,
by like 14.7 or 8%.
mm-hmm.
So that's a positive for the league.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
So
part of it is that they have some really compelling matchups, as well as and I'll be the first to admit it. Bruce knows. All you guys who watch the show know. I'm generally not happy with the state of the current NBA, right? But if you remember, I did the show a while back that might have been members only, where I was talking about the future and how intrigued I am because I feel like the young players, the next generation, these guys have a different mentality. I don't know where it came from, but these guys want to defend, they want to play hard, they want to compete. They're not all buddy. And so I'm like, okay, this is cool. And I felt like this next generation, it has a chance to be good, like really good, and like supersede this generation. Even though there are some all timers in this generation, your LeBrons, your Kevin Durant's, your Steph Curry's, etc. But that next one, to me, really looks like it's going to have something special. And so you're almost seeing now. We know that there's always a change in the way the game is played from the regular season to the playoffs, but the way we seeing a lot of these teams really strap up on defense, I'm like, okay. The way the officials are allowing them most of these series to be more physical, I'm like, okay. Like there is some good basketball, and I'm enjoying for the most part what I'm seeing. So I'm like, yeah, let's get it, man. So I can see why why the percentages will be up in terms of the viewing.
well, it'll be up a little bit more next year. Because they need
Mm-hmm.
they need to get a young gun to push the league,
Yeah,
and I see that they're going to be putting a lot of marketing behind Cooper Flag.
yeah,
So if he can hold up his own, because
mm-hmm.
Anthony Edwards is acting stupid,
Yeah, that guy.
making
Do not
making
say anything, Edward. We don't want to hear it. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, Anthony Edwards is making ridiculous comments.
Mm-hmm.
John, John Moran is still getting punished for what he did on Instagram Live from last
Yeah.
year.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no American made players that they can market behind.
Right.
Um,
Right.
closest than they can market behind SGA, but are
Yeah.
they? I mean, the one
No.
guy that I say who can, if he can stay healthy, that they
Mm-hmm.
can market behind is
Mm-hmm.
Kawhi.
So
If
I
they
don't think
can,
so because Kawhi is another one. He doesn't speak. He has like zero personality. you can only push that, that whole Terminator cyborg thing, but so far, And
Man,
again, it's like, at what point is it like we can say if he can stay healthy, but like I think, Derek White with a 3 falling out of bounds. I think that I
focus,
think that
Bruce.
I know. I think that ship has sailed on Kawhi Leonard staying healthy. Like the miracle would be if he can make it through this playoff run and, somehow they pull off a championship. That would be crazy. That would cement him as all-time great, and Ty Lue as all-time great as a head coach. But that's a whole different thing.
They're already planting the seeds.
I think it would be
ESPN
great to see.
saying ESPN's already planting the seeds. If Kawhi can drag the Clippers
Yes.
to the
Yes.
title this
Yes.
year, he's gonna be up there in the conversation next.
Well, I don't know about the
Watch.
conversation,
No,
but
that's you know how ESPN move.
yeah.
But
So
they need an American player that's
they do.
young that they can get behind to get for their league going in the future.
You
And
know who I
the
think that
only one Bruce American made is that can hold that crown until to be the transition. You know how WWE calls a transitional
Mhm.
champion
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
that transitional holder until
Mhm.
the next generation come on
Mhm.
is Kawhi Leonard that everybody like. Like I don't. There's not too many people that don't like Kawhi.
That's crazy, isn't it? That's crazy. So check this out, and then we'll I promise we'll open up the phone lines. I actually
Yeah,
thought
because I
about
know
something.
Eddie's itching to call in,
I
calling
know,
us
right?
old heads.
I know. Here's one I thought about, right? And I guess he's next generation, but do you think Cooper Flag could be one of those? Not Cooper Flag, I'm sorry. Cade Cunningham can be one of those guys, like top of the league, very marketable, up there in that discussion. Because man, can he play? And if he can bring Detroit back,
Right now, no.
mm,
Maybe in a couple
couple of
years,
years.
maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Long as he, stay. I mean, yeah, you can put some commercials behind him, but it's like who- m- he got to have a he got to have a following.
Mm-hmm.
Kawhi
Fair
has a
enough.
following, and
Mhm.
they're waiting for him to explode.
Agreed. Agreed.
Because he's gonna be one of this is like uh, Laker Nation said it on
Mm-hmm.
on April 23rd, 2025. The 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 seeds already been planted that if he
Yeah.
leads that Clippers to the title, he's gonna be one of a few that have led three
Yes,
different teams
that's right. Because they
as the
love to tell
leader
you that for the other guy, so they
to
better
a
do it for.
championship.
That's right. That's right.
And with and
And it would be a team that never won before, and arguably the worst franchise in league history.
well,
That would be crazy.
two of them never won before.
Well, I'm talking about. Oh yeah, Toronto. That's wow. Yup.
Yeah, only
So if
two
you
of
could
them.
do
He led
Clippers,
two, and it'll be the Clippers' first, championship franchise history. So that's going to be historic. So he'll have
wow.
two historic championship runs
Mm-hmm.
if he can pull it off. And this one, will be, and then Harden might get that monkey off his back. I'm not
Ah,
sure.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not sure. It just
Right.
depends on how he plays. But
Mm-hmm.
Kawhi
No
is
doubt.
going to get all the love.
As he should, as he should. But let's go ahead, and I know we got a couple people waiting to call. We're gonna go ahead and let's do it, man. Y'all know the number 904-219-8264. 904-219-8264. Go ahead, dial the number. Let's get it, man. Let's talk a little bit of. There we go. Guess who? Edward. What's up, Edward? What you got, man?
Yo, what's up, brother?
What's
How y'all
going on,
doing?
my brother? How are you?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now we can't hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you, Edward.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. My fault, brother. My fault. I'm acting like y'all, man. I got a hearing problem. But anyway, what's going on, fellas?
Oh, here we
What you
go.
talking about? We got hearing
Oh,
problem,
here
man.
we
What
go,
you calling in talking greasy?
You already
man?
troll.
What
You
you
call
about,
you.
man?
You already trolling in your first 5 seconds.
I don't have no hearing problem, man. What
No,
you got,
no,
Edward?
my brother. No, man. Y'all talking old stuff. I wasn't even around yet, man. But God rest the dead. But man, anyway, what's up, Bruce, man?
What's up,
Why
Edward?
you coming in so hostile with me, bro?
Nah, because when we were talking about and Edwards acting like a fool, I already knew where you was gonna go. You was gonna jump
You
on your.
already know where
I
I'm
already
going.
know where you going, but
Hey,
again,
it's
yeah.
again. Hey, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna let him do what he do. Hopefully he come back healthy. I know he's not playing tonight. If I was y'all, I'd probably rest him game 3. I ain't go ahead and sweep it out. This is a sweep. This is a gentleman's sweep, actually. Y'all should win this game.
Okay.
Bruce, okay, if he wasn't on your team, would you still be feeling the same way?
Honestly, I wouldn't care, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I would
Exactly.
not
But
care.
anyway, let's move. Let's
All
move
I want
on.
is for Tatum to help to bring me another chip. I don't care about anything else.
Okay, man. Okay, but yeah. Anyway, man, it was a good game. Yes, good game last
Yeah,
night.
it was.
It was a very good game. So the problem is, I think Nas Reed only had 3 points. He was shut down. He didn't do nothing.
9. He had 9 on 3 of 8 shooting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I must have. Okay, I thought. Well, he didn't. He had a bad slump night.
Mm-hmm.
Dante DiVincenzo really, honestly, didn't do nothing.
Nope.
But look, this is what I'm thinking here.
Okay.
Well, let me say this first. Rudy Gobert, he is a liability on defense because now, Laker Nation, I saw when you said they should keep him in the paint, but you know they're gonna try to do the pick and roll and bring him out there on that island by himself with Luka, and he just gonna kill him.
No, I was talking about on offense. Run like a makeshift triangle.
Mm-hmm.
To when the Lakers go into a zone, put him in the middle and run like a makeshift triangle. And I'm just hoping that he can hit those cutters and make those reads, or kick it out to the wide open shooters because they're going to collapse on him to try to get the ball out of the paint.
Because like when it comes to him, man, when they do that pick and roll, man, it's like him versus Luka. Man, Luka be want that matchup, and boy, oh boy.
But see, to me,
I feel bad for.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Edward. My bad.
No, go ahead, Bruce. Go ahead, Bruce.
I was just gonna say, to me, that's bad coaching because you saw last season that the whole goal is to get Rudy Gobert caught in the pick and roll on Luka Doncic. So I'm like, stop doing it. Stop switching everything and just play real straight up defense. Cut it out. Like, yeah. I don't get it. Like, you know that what they're trying to do is get Rudy Gobert, 7'1", rim protecting, old school defensive center, stuck out there on the perimeter defending one of the elite perimeter players in the NBA. Don't allow it to happen. Stop switching everything.
Exactly. Bruce, what I'm talking about. This ain't the 1970s and 80s and 90s no more. But you're right, bro. Keep cooking, man. You cooked right there. You cooked.
Yo, Edward. Yo, that was a real backhanded compliment, brother.
Oh, you see how I feel about it when you talk about my Southern rap. But anyway, we talking about you know what I'm saying right now.
Oh my gosh.
and Julius Randle, man. So this is what I see with Julius Randle. He only know how to go left. If the Lakers just know how to keep him from going left, they'll be fine because he can only just go left. He's a lefty. So, I mean, that's what that is.
Hey, easy on the lefties. Go ahead, though.
Hey, I'm a left-handed too, Bruce.
I'm lefty too, man.
Man, see, that's what I mean. You got that, even though you stubborn, but hey, you know what I mean? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, for sure, man. So, but yeah, that's all it really was. That was a good game last night. But when do the Lakers play again? What, Friday?
Would they play last night? Tuesday? Yeah, I would think Friday because
I think they got 3 days off before they play game 3.
Okay, and I heard y'all talk earlier in the conversation. You know, y'all talked about Giannis. I mean, Bruce, man, like I hate to see because I do want Giannis to beat the Pacers, man. I mean, it's just something about freaking Tyrese Halliburton, man, and then plus Dame. I know Dame, he just coming back from off his injury. But, man, you can't let nobody just hit the Dame time on you and all that. Then you ain't bagging it up. You know what I mean? And then I also want to know, do y'all think that's right now in today's era of NBA, is that a rivalry, the Pacers and the Bucks?
I don't think so. I mean, I heard, I think it was Tyrese Halliburton say the other day, we don't like them, they don't like us. But I think you have to have more probably playoff animosity with more high stakes in order for it to really become a rivalry, right? Like what the Bulls and the Pistons were, even though like the Pistons were beating the Bulls, but you saw the Bulls consistently get better, right?
Okay,
or
just like
the
y'all
Sixers and the Celtics. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, because I'm gonna say the Celtics and the Pistons and okay, or like Sacramento and the Lakers.
Knicks and Pacers,
Okay.
something like that. You know, you gotta have some more. You gotta have more high stakes involved and more quality play on both sides, I think.
Well,
okay, and then like
excuse me.
And then also I was gonna say now this next one, Doc, he gotta change the rotation. Get Brook Lopez coming off the bench and start Bobby Porter.
That could be an interesting. Yeah, that could be very interesting.
No, he absolutely correct. He needs to utilize Bobby Porter's correctly. There's no way this should be down 0-2 to the Pacers at all.
I agree. I'm shocked by that.
And then Brook Lopez, come on, bro. You a center, man. You only got 1 or 2 rebounds.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's
But he's
crazy.
never been a high rebounder though for a center.
He really has not. For him to be a center, that's why I said Giannis can play the 5. Giannis can play the 5. He can play the 5, but hey, somebody told me that, when I made that argument about the Joker, but anyway, that was a long time ago. But anyway, I'm gonna just say this, man. Hopefully that change. They get this game 3 at home. And I see the next topic, man. Look, man, all I can say is, hey, OKC ain't got too far to travel from Tennessee, so that's a sweep, man. That's all I'm gonna say, man.
No doubt.
The ticket sales are already going for low prices right now.
Really?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
You should go to the game, man. You should go watch your Grizz get smoked, man.
I think
first of all, sir, I am okay, Bruce, chill, bro. I am a fan of the game, bro. I mean, don't get me wrong. The last Grizzly game I went was I took my boys to see the Giannis and them play. They let us be on the court. The kids be on the court for about 5 to 10 minutes to shoot around. So that was a good time. Though.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah,
awesome.
I used to love that when I was a kid, man. When I used to go to those Lakers Clippers games, boy.
Man, that's what I'm talking about. What year was that at Laker Nation?
What?
Yo, easy, Edward. You want to be Edward want to be funny.
He's making another overhead comment.
Yeah, he is. You know what's funny though? Edward acts like he's that much younger than us. That's the funny part. Edward be faking though. It's all right.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, Edward. I ain't gonna lie, Edward. The first game that I went, my very first game that I went to in attendance was the Clippers and Suns, and I did get to meet Charles Barkley and Kevin Johnson in person. It was out. Yeah, they let us run 5-on-5 before the game, and then they came out and said what's up to us.
Wow.
And everything. So I did get to meet Kevin Johnson and Charles Barkley as they did.
Quick side note. I know some people don't want to hear this. If Kevin Johnson played today, he would destroy this league. He was an animal.
Oh, here we go, man. Here we go.
You triggering the young bucks. They don't want to hear that, Bruce. They don't want to hear
it. You know how nasty KJ was in his prime, though.
Yeah, he was nasty.
Okay, bro.
He dunked on your boy. He dunked on your boy, the Dream.
Oh my gosh, did he leaned on him? Did he? Yeah.
Man, here we go. Just like your dream can only get them chips when Jordan retired, right? I mean, you brought it up, so I had to bring that up, man. But anyway, man, it was a good show. Hey, it was a good show, man. Keep it up, man. Everybody hit that like and subscribe. You know what I mean? But
you know who would be his favorite? The favorite guy with KJ the dunk on. You see, he gonna dunk on Gobert about 5 times.
Oh, yo, KJ had bunnies,
speaking of
man.
Gobert,
real talk.
Had bunnies.
Hey, speaking of, so Laker Nation, let me ask you this, man. So, what's the purpose of keeping Jackson Hayes in the game? I mean, like, y'all need a big, bro. Like, hey, man, I guess he's just a lob, but it's like Luka can't really just use him for that lob. You know what I'm saying? The alley, he needs somebody like that. So, I mean, y'all bench, man. Gabe Vincent, he gonna have to do something. He need to go back like how he was with Miami. Hopefully, he can do it, man. This next game y'all have Friday.
Well,
y'all gonna need to contribute off the bench.
Anthony Edwards showed that Jackson Hayes ain't no rim protector.
Man, showed that dunk was nasty.
You saw he got it in, like, though. He played perfect defense though. He cut off the angle and made the shot hard for him, and he still dunked it with 2 hands.
Yeah, he
Sometimes
did.
that's
He
all you
asked,
can try to do is just make it tough. You know.
And he still
yeah,
dunked it with
yeah,
he cradled that and I was I was like, there's nothing you can do but shake his hand after that.
That's right.
yeah. That's all you can do. But yeah. Before I let you go, Laker Nation, you didn't tell me what year that was, man. When you had went to that game.
You trying to be funny out here.
Yeah, he
All right.
is.
Oh man, I'm asking a serious question. What year was it?
Yeah, he is. That was I think 93.
Okay, I was born in '86, so Bruce, I wasn't trying to be funny. '93, I was
Yeah,
in
you was
what? I
trying
think
to
I
be
was in
funny.
kindergarten. No,
Yeah,
I was in kindergarten.
I was in sixth grade then.
Nah, 93, I was
No,
freshman in high school, going into my
no, I was
sophomore year.
not taking. No, I wasn't in sixth grade. I was in the seventh grade.
God, dog,
Yeah, I started high school in 92.
dang, wow,
Yo, Edward, get off my
whoa.
phone, man.
I know.
Man, you can't be booting off your member. You can't be booting off your
We know we gonna call back.
your viewers
Edward
like
All
knows
right,
that.
my
man,
love.
water, y'all. Hey, water,
Hey,
man.
you be you, man. Water.
You be you too, Bruce.
All right, Edward.
Come on, Steve, man. You said you was telling us to open up the phone line. Come on, Steve.
Damn, Chief, you were in the Navy in 93? Wow, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Steve,
I know
you
who.
want to
I
call
know
in,
who
man?
would. I know
We'll give you a
who.
minute.
I know who definitely would kill today, and I don't. Nobody in this chat would disagree.
Who's that?
Is the Navy guy, David Robinson.
Yeah, the Admiral. What?
The Admiral
Fuck you
will
today.
have a field day.
Super athletic, can run the floor, can handle the rock, can shoot the J, and
What's
dominate
going
on
on,
defense. What's going on, Bruce? How you doing, man?
All right, speaking of 1993, that probably was the greatest year of hip hop. Let me see. Was 93 the great? Yeah. 93 was the greatest year of hip hop. Biggie, Wu-Tang, Jay-Z, Mobb Deep, all that shit came out there. That was the year. Nas.
I thought Illmatic and Ready to Die came out in 94. I could be wrong, but
But
yeah,
still, that was the beginning. That was
man.
Well, that whole 90 run, because Dre and Snoop had the country on crazy with West. That's when the West Coast was popping.
Yeah, man.
That was the like between 90 and 97, 98.
What? Yes.
That was the glory. That was the glory years of hip hop.
Nah, no doubt. Because what in 98, Capital Punishment came out.
Yeah. No NRE came out.
Yup.
Hard Not Life Volume 2 came out.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's when the South. That's when 99 came. That's when Cash Money,
Bling,
No
bling.
Limit. Yeah, No Limit. They started to take the South started their takeover in 98, 99.
I know.
Yeah, Ready to Die came out in 94.
Yeah, I thought so. Ready to Die and Illmatic
because
came out.
there were a couple because I know his last album came out in 96, so it was a couple years apart.
Yep. And Jay-Z,
I'm sorry,
Reasonable Doubt came out in 96 too.
Hey,
no, I've been getting in Bruce's head about doing the hip hop show, so we talking about
we holding off on that till summertime when things are slow.
He keep telling me in the summer.
We're
gonna do it.
Most definitely. Yeah, I heard the number 93. I said, man, that was a great year. God damn it.
Yeah.
The nostalgia of even thinking of it, like. But yeah, for the Lakers last night, they won, but they didn't play well. Really, they didn't. It was a lot of one-on-one, especially the second half. If Minnesota would have hit 3 more shots, they'd have won that, yo.
But
that second half was sloppy for the Lakers.
But can't we attribute a lot of that to the change in defense by the Lakers? Not allowing Minnesota to just go crazy and bomb away?
Yeah.
So, credit where it's due, man.
Yeah, but still, like, that second half was too much one-on-one ball, man. Like, look at you ball hog. You got to let the ball pop some.
Agreed. But it's always better to have things to work on after a win. Am I right?
Huh?
It's always better to have things to work on after a win, though. So
yeah. But he been ball hungry since he been there. Except for that little run they had when they won like 10 in a row. They was moving the ball a little bit more better. But
you talking about Luka?
Can a ball hungry player win a ring? I don't think a ball hungry player ever won a ring.
That's just how Luka plays, though. I don't think there's nothing you could do about it, man.
Yeah, like we got it. Can we concede? Even Jordan and Kobe conceded to win championships. Luka seems stubborn. Like, I don't know, man. It's just even LeBron conceded to being a dunk spot guy. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
But Liga too ball hoggy. He try to make everything. Even though it works, but it's not gonna. You're not gonna win no championship. Remember Kobe said that about James Harden.
Yeah.
James Harden was ball hoggy.
So I think that, and you're right. I think that for the Clippers, like we were talking about earlier, to really have that chance, man, Kawhi has to stay healthy, and James Harden has to be the second guy. He can't win being the lead guy.
No.
Now, if that guy stays healthy, I already said Aubrey hit the transfer portal and said Golden State. But God damn, what 15 for 19 out of the night?
Crazy, right?
It was a beautiful thing. They got everything. Listen, the Clippers got everything they need to win a championship this year. But you know, any moment,
that's right.
All of a game, when they play tomorrow, Kawhi not playing. You wondering what happened? Kawhi's out for the series. Like what the fuck happened that quick?
Yeah.
So we all holding on to that, but it was a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it was.
I don't mean to tear off the Lakers game, but that mid-range, he was the mid. Oh my God, healthy Kawhi.
Yeah.
Shit, man.
It makes you wonder, like, what we missed out on all these years with the injuries, you know.
And look, Jokic played like shit. He had 10 turnovers. Zubac holding his own. He can't bully Zubac. Can't bully Zubac. That's the thing
tough,
that's going on.
Zubac's tough.
Yes. Plus, you know, you got Ty Lue. He's a great coach. And, yeah, man, the Lakers, man, they didn't play well that second half. It was a whole bunch of ball hogging stuff. They struggled. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just, the way the Lakers play, I just don't see championship. I just not this year. Maybe next year.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. And for us, OKC, real quick, they look great, but there's something about them that's missing to me.
All right, we're going to get to him. We're going to get to him. Oh, Porzingis
I'll call back on that one. But yeah, man, that game yesterday, man, I don't know. It just didn't. I don't see championship. I just don't. But like, yeah, I'm gonna get up there. That 93, man. Just all the memories just come back.
93 was a good year.
Yes, indeed.
High school with your Timberlands on and your Carhartt stuff, That's when Cream. I mean, when I first heard Cream. I'm like, what the hell is this? I was so entrenched on. I was a West Coast guy, you know. I'm Baltimore, but I was a big Dre, the Chronic album.
That was a great album.
Dougie Style. Yeah, I mean, West Coast was it. But then I heard Cream. No, Biggie first. But when I heard Cream, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
Wu-Tang Clan had that joint popping back. Everybody in Cali was bumping that, boy. You see Low Riders driving around talking about cash rules everything around me.
Oh, it was bumping that in LA too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We show the East Coast. We show the East Coast mad love out. We show, no matter what everybody say, we show the East Coast mad love.
Right. Was Biggie getting played in LA back in the day, Jay-Z?
No, Biggie was, even with the Tupac beef, he was still getting play out. He was still getting.
So that Tupac West Coast, East Coast, West Coast beef was just fluff, basically.
I wouldn't go that far. They both.
They
got killed, but it wasn't like that for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody didn't feel.
That was more media. That was more media put.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Behind it, and then artists scared to go to New York, and then New York to Cali, and vice versa, until Snoop and them went out there. Then they got ran out of New York when they were when they were doing the New York video.
Yes.
And then
you got to set up for the summer, man. A little hip hop panel, man. We'll talk about it, Bruce.
No doubt.
Oh yeah. We got. Right, he gonna have to have a panel on that show. Yeah, he gonna. Have to have multiple guests on that one.
Yeah, no, we
all right, we're playing on it, Bruce.
Yeah, that's gonna be a summertime thing when the sports.
Okay, cool. That's cool. All right, that's what's up. All right, man. I ain't y'all back.
All right, y'all.
All right.
All right, let's go ahead and let's go.
Good job, Bruce. You didn't trigger Bruce today. Good job.
What you talking about, man?
Man, you trigger Bruce once every show, man. Then call in here screaming at you.
Oh man,
that was the best call. That was the most mellow call y'all have had since I've been a part of this show.
No doubt. All right, well, let's take it.
You ready to talk about the Thunder? I thought Steve was gonna call, man.
I thought he was gonna call too, but he's probably at work. But let's go ahead and we'll take it to this is interesting, right? Because this is, a couple of years ago, if we remember, John Morant was like next up, right? Everybody thought he was the next one. And then, of course, he got in trouble and, and since he's had some injuries, et cetera, et cetera. But this was a matchup a couple of years ago that everybody would have been like, oh, my gosh, John Morant versus SGA. But now SGA is likely going to be the MVP of the league. And John Morant is, I don't know, trying to stay out of trouble. I don't know what's the deal with him. But we are seeing the OKC Thunder. Would they win 68 games this year, right? Man, OKC is so good. And the question is, can anybody in the West deal with them? I know it's only the first round, but they are so good, man. And it's like, now, Memphis is obviously not the best, but OKC is like blowing these dudes out with ease. And it's almost scary how good they are. Now, of course, again, when you haven't been tested yet, you're going to look a certain way. But, man, I don't even know what to say, man. These dudes are that good.
See, I'm gonna give you some pushback on this.
Yeah.
All right, don't be downplaying. OKC is doing what they're supposed to do. If you won 68 games, you're the number one seed. You're supposed to put boots, play that clip. You're supposed to put boots to asses to the 8th seed. That's what they're doing. What they're supposed to do. So they can't. It's not their fault who they playing. It's not their fault who they got matched up with. And two, they got an added incentive because a couple years, 2 years ago, Memphis beat them by 73 points. And yeah, it was in the regular season.
Was it 73? I thought it was 50 something.
No,
it was
73. It was 73 in the regulars. It was a regular season game. They beat them by 73.
There you go.
And so that's in the back of their mind. So they wanted to come up there. That's why that was added incentives to get on the step on their throat early. And that's why they cooked them in game 1.
Right.
And then they kept it going in game 2. And I think they're going to keep it going in game 3 and 4. I think it's going to be a sweep, but it's not going to be a close sweep.
Oh, all right.
Throw them out there like garbage. Not saying Memphis is garbage. Not saying Memphis is garbage. If they was playing anyone else in the first round, it'd have been a close series. It's just OKC is just, they hear the talks too. We saying they too young. They, we disrespecting them. They're being disrespected a lot for a team that almost won 70 games.
You think they're being disrespected? I think everybody knows how good they are.
If you win that many games and you're not the favorite to win the championship, you're being disrespected.
I think they're not the favorite to win the championship because as good as they are, I think everybody looks at Boston and says when those guys are playing at their best, nobody's going to beat them because they have the most depth. They're a good defensive team. They can rain it on you from 3. Like when they're playing the way they're supposed to, there's really no weakness and nothing you can do. And I think that's why people are looking at Boston. And they're saying Boston already knows what it takes to win. So they don't have to figure out what it takes to win. They know. And that's why I think people are saying that.
Bruce. It is disrespect when you win 68 games and you're not the favorite to win the championship. They're not even picking them to come out the West.
I am.
So that's what I'm saying about disrespect. They're picking Golden State to knock them out.
Oh,
they're saying if they match up against Golden State, which will be in the Western Conference Finals, and they don't even think they're going to get past the Clippers. So that is disrespectful.
Well, I mean, there could be some tough matchups, no doubt, but I think
Bruce, there's no team. There's no team. There's no team that has the depth to deal with their top 8. Not even your Celtics. If you honestly think Derek White and Peyton Pritchard gonna come in there and drop 40 on them, you crazy.
No, I'm not saying they're gonna drop 40, but they don't have to drop 40. But the problem is though, you don't know who on a given night from Boston is going to be able to light you up. That's
You
the
don't
problem.
know who from OKC gonna light you up outside of SGA. They got so much depth on that team.
Mm,
I mean, Jalen Williams is gonna be an all-star pretty soon.
I don't know if I see it.
Like I said, guys, and like I said, Stream, the disrespect.
It's not about disrespect. It's not that. I'm telling you that I think OKC is like elite. I do. But I think we also know, man, the West is tough. Again, a healthy Kawhi makes the Clippers dangerous, right? We know that because I think they're going to beat, as long as he stays healthy, always the caveat. I think they're going to beat Denver. Realistically, as much as I hate to say it, if the Lakers stay healthy, they're dangerous, right? You got two of the best guys in the game, Luka and LeBron. They're dangerous. The West is tough, man. West is tough.
But they won 68 games out of that. Brute, you're shooting yourself in the foot. They won 68 games in this tough West.
Well, they didn't only play the West, right? I mean, they still had to play.
Now here we go.
I mean, they still had to play the East. But listen, I'm not trying to disrespect them. I'm just saying.
How many games have they play? Every team in the East, what, twice?
Yeah.
There's what, 15 teams in the East? That's 30
Yeah.
games.
It's 30 games, right?
So a majority of their games is against West Coast, West,
Mhm.
West, and they still won 68.
Mm-hmm. Listen,
We got to stop disrespecting them just because they're young.
sometimes young teams got to figure it out, though, man. I mean,
But to say that but I'm not saying you, but I'm saying
Mhm.
it's the so-called experts. They're not predicting them to get past the second round. And I think that,
Yeah.
and I'm saying that is very disrespectful to a team
Okay,
that won that many games.
okay, I can see that, but I think also they know that sometimes it's about matchups as well. But I hear what you're saying, though.
But they're gonna roll through this. But they're gonna roll through this series. Like I give it a sweep, not even a close one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and let's see, they'll play what, the Clippers. I think it'll be the Clippers next round because I think they're gonna get past. They're gonna get past Denver.
Right.
It's gonna be the Clippers next round, and that's gonna be. That's going to be a very, very, very intriguing match. That's going to be must see. Kawhi and SGA. That's going to be a must see.
Oh, must see.
Because we already know Kawhi is going to check them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we all know they're going to put Lou Dort on Harden.
Would you? So who's going to guard Kawhi?
Man, Kawhi is a cyborg. You
don't, right?
You are in trouble if you let Harden go off.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. And Harden could distribute, so yeah, you want to try to take him out.
You want that ball out of Harden's hands.
Yeah.
You want to test that knee.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, as I coach, this would be my. I was like, you want to test that knee,
Mm-hmm.
and the first two games, Kawhi's busting our ass balls. Then we're gonna adjust our game plan. Then we'll adjust our game plan.
Right.
But OKC has the depth to throw multiple defenders at both of them.
That's fair. So
it's not gonna, like, I'm not gonna disrespect OKC and be like they're just gonna don't lose this because they got youth and got. Sometimes young teams that are good and depth are the most dangerous because they don't know no better.
And then you still got to think about Golden State, so that's the other problem.
I just need Chet Holmgren into whatever the hell is wrong with him. I need him to get that. I need him to get right, because that dude went from all-star caliber player to like a seventh man.
Did he have like 20 last night? I thought he did.
Man, it was garbage time.
Okay. Okay.
And Hardenstein and Isaiah Hardenstein he's like, I mean, that was a great pickup for them.
Great pickup for them, yeah.
Because he like made up for all them games that Chet missed. But he's off and on too. Like if they can get those two on, if they can get those two to be consistent, 2010 guys.
Right. Well, Hardenstein's not that, but Hardenstein, he's a lunch pail guy. He's a hustle box. He's gonna do that. Yeah, Chet Holmgren had 20 and 11 last night and 5 blocks. That'll work.
5 blocks is
Gotta get it done.
5 blocks is what's up.
Yeah,
But that's what they need. That's what they need from him if they're going to go to the finals and win it all.
mm-hmm.
He has to have him. He has to play like a monster. Kind of like how I said about Austin Reeves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the stars are going to bring. You need that third option to be. You need somebody else to play like a monster,
Right.
like your boy Derek White did for y'all last year.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have that guy come off. That third guy, you need that third guy, and be a monster. Now, if he can get 5 blocks, I don't say average 5 blocks a game, but get multiple blocks a game to anchor that defense, and Hardenstein come in and get 1 or 2, they're gonna be a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel that. Agreed.
So like I said, we can't disrespect the Thunder is because they're young.
No, but
Not saying you, Bruce. I'm saying
no,
overall, the basketball world is disrespecting those boys.
Do you think maybe it's looking at maybe just being in the conference they are, just a possibly tougher run to get out of it?
The West is a dog. You said it's a dog fight. It is.
Right,
It's not.
right.
But they got to go to OKC. That's the loudest stadium in the NBA. Is Paycom Center, which is called now. That's the loudest. That's the loudest.
OKC.
Yeah, that's the loudest stadium in the NBA.
That's louder than the center.
Yeah, that's the loudest one.
That's crazy. I don't know. Chase Center is crazy. All right.
Yeah, they get down over there too, but no, them fans is very passionate about their Thunder. They loud.
Yeah, they are.
That's loud.
Yeah.
They even voted that. I don't know if they did it this year, but I know they've been voting that that's the loudest arena in the NBA. Because the players make these votes, like who's the most overrated, underrated player this season. Who's the best coach? Coach need to get they do these polls to the players every year at the end of the season, and then they also vote what was the toughest place to play, and that arena always been since OKC's been there has been top 5 every season since they've been playing in Oklahoma City.
You're right. Yeah, they don't have a pro team in anything. They don't have
That's the only pro team they have.
Yeah.
And this is right in the middle of their city.
Yeah. Right. They don't have football. They don't have.
Nope.
Yep. You're right.
It's them and the Sooners, and they got them. They got the Sooners.
The Sooners and the Cowboys are in freaking Stillwater. So, yeah, there's nothing.
Yeah, Stillwater, that they got that rivalry out there. Well, basketball, all they got is that in college basketball. They have no Major League Baseball team.
Nope.
Nothing.
No hockey, no baseball, no
nothing.
No football. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's why they're so rabid. Great point.
And I'm surprised because how much they done. Like it started when they supported the Hornets when Katrina hit and they played up there. How they supported them. So you would think they would put another major team out there in OKC, but I'm surprised they haven't done it yet.
Well, I'm sure they ran the numbers and looked into all of that, and they figured it wasn't going to be beneficial enough. I don't know.
I've been saying they should put an NFL team out there.
You think so?
Yeah, to rival the Cowboys. Yeah.
But I mean, if the Texans can't even rival the Cowboys, then why would a team in Oklahoma rival the Cowboys? You know what I'm saying?
Dallas and Oklahoma City, there's a major. It's a major rivalry between those two cities. Don't ask me how, but it is.
All right.
Like they can't. You see when the Mavs come to town, they booted out of them.
Yeah. Right.
They don't like. They don't like them. And then when they play Texas, Oklahoma plays Texas. That Red River rivalry is huge in that city. It's crazy over there.
Yeah.
Like they don't play when it comes to their sports. So I'm
Cotton Bowl.
just surprised that they don't have another pro team there.
Fair enough. Fair
But I
enough.
think but I understand where you're coming from. They probably look at the numbers saying that, yeah, they're Oklahoma City Thunder is making good, but they probably figure like another major team probably wouldn't draw as much.
Mm-hmm.
But I disagree. Those people out there love their teams.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, let's go ahead. We'll take 2 calls on this on Oklahoma City, and then we will talk some NFL draft. Let's take 2 calls. You know the number, 904-219-8264. 904-219-8264. Let's go. In the meantime, Orlando is trying desperately to cut into the Celtics lead. They're only down by 7. Every time Boston tries to pull away, Orlando makes another run again. Bruce, what up?
Yeah, like I was saying, how you feeling? Like I was saying about OKC, they look great.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something about them just missing to me. I don't know, man.
He just picked up where he left off.
This
dude is comedy. He just picked up where he left off.
There's something that's missing, man. Remember that team? They remind me of that Atlanta team that won like 65 games
I
a
think
year.
they're way better than them.
Yeah, they way better. I'm just saying the record and how well they was playing, and you know what I'm talking about. Like, name some great teams that had great records and went. I don't know, man. There's something about the missing, but it's great basketball. But hey, they'll struggle against a team like the Clippers. I think the Clippers are giving them a run for the money.
Yeah, I do.
I think they struggle against a Houston because they got matched up with them athletically, the wing players.
Well, Houston won't get out of the first round, so I'm not even concerned about that.
We'll see tonight. But yeah, it's something about OKC. I like them. But OKC, I think ratings a nightmare if they made it to finals. What if OKC and Cleveland went to finals? That'd be good, Jesus. You know, it'd be great basketball, though.
Wait.
OKC.
Who in OKC went to the finals? Say that again.
I said, what if?
What if?
That'd be a ratings nightmare. Even though it'd be great basketball.
You talking about the 2 number 1 seeds, Cleveland and OKC?
Oh my god!
Yeah, but man, OKC, man, they was clicking, man.
That'll be like when I think it was 04, 05 when San Antonio played New Jersey. No, when they played the Nets. I think that was David Robinson's last year. That was
speaking of
04. I think that was
OKC.
I think that was 04.
Sam Presti is
03 was either 03 or 04.
Great owner. Sam Presti for years for having a great team.
My bad, Brucey. I don't want you to lose. My bad, Bruce. I don't want you to lose. I'm not going to take away your minutes, but Bruce over there looks stuck. It was 03. It was 03, David Robinson's last year.
How is that?
They played the New Jersey Nets. They went back to back. They played the Lakers. Lakers got their 3-peat against them. Then they came back up there again. They played the Spurs again. And they played the Spurs, and the Spurs beat them in 5. It was the lowest rated finals in the NBA.
Yeah. But Oklahoma City has been drafting well for the past 10 years. They always have great teams. Sam Presti got to get it done, man.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, we got great talented teams he done had and hasn't been able to get over the hump. That's why I say there's something missing. Is this team different? What's the difference between this year and last year? Understand what I'm saying? The Lakers have knocked them off, though, because some reason the certain teams Luka just destroy. It's all about matchups. If they get a bad matchup, they're gonna lose. But they're talented. They play together. Hey, if Shea gets to his spot, you might as well go on back up the court. You're gonna hit it. That little mid he got, he's a mid-range merchant.
Yes, he is.
Him and Kawhi. So
I love it.
Yes, man. OKC, great basketball team. I'd love to see. I don't want to see him because I'd love to see him in the finals, but we already know what's going to happen if they play a team like a Cleveland or something. But we all know what our dream final is. Lakers and the Knicks. Even Lakers and the Knicks or Lakers in Boston. I mean, that's That's what everybody want to see. Well, maybe Golden State and Boston.
Look, anytime the Celtics in the finals, that's the dream finals. I agree.
Yes.
Here we go.
Even let me see. The perfect finals will be Lakers, Knicks, Golden State, Knicks, Golden State, Boston. I think. Or the Clippers. Anything LA, New York. LA, Boston, LA, New York. Either way. Well, maybe, that'll be big for the game, but Memphis I don't know what's going on with that. It's just they got the talent. I just don't know. I don't know, man. I think John need to change the location. I don't know, man. That team is embarrassing. And Jaren Jackson Jr. he turns into goddamn Ola Candy in the playoffs. He did not show up.
Boy said Ola Candy.
Yeah.
Wow. Ola Candy catching strays. Candyman catching strays.
Uninspired. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they maybe they are. They say if you get the first 2 home games, what's the chance of them? Being swept? Most likely.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad, man, that all that talent Memphis got. It's in shambles anyway because they fired their coach like a week before the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't even understand what was the
raggedy all over on the board. I don't know, man. It is what it is, man. If your heart not in it, John Hart's not in. He played hard, but he ain't trying to be no champion. He too busy want to be a thug.
Yep.
Hey, what
Tupac? All that fucking hype.
Hey, Brucey, what Tupac say? Shorty want to be a thug.
Right. Yeah, right.
Hey, I bet they respect him in the urban community, right?
Nah, I feel you, yo. Hey, Bruce, don't bring that up. You know how we go through our little bullshit, but I'll be fucking with you most times. But there's on plenty of occasions I've seen Zach Edey had the mismatch on the switch at least 10 times. Why not go school, clear it out, get your big guy in the box, man? When he got somebody that's 5 inches shorter than him.
They just don't want to do it.
70 pounds heavier than him.
3 shot attempts
What's wrong with
last night.
y'all?
They don't want to do it.
Huh?
3 shot attempts last night.
Yeah.
They don't want to do it. That's all.
That's stupid. Like, you got this big fella that will dominate anybody that's 6. I see them on the switch about 5-6 times. Had some small motherfuckers. They were shot at 3-pointer. Like, back in the day, shit. Tim Hardaway.
Mouse
Mouse in the house. Back in the day, Tim Hardaway, Isaiah Thomas, they would clear that shit out. Be giving it to the big fella, but it's not like that no more. And it's sad to see. I see that all the time when bigs be having mismatches.
You're supposed to go to that immediately. I don't know, man.
Just like you say, evolution is a raggedy thing, but
yeah.
But yeah, man. Yeah, man. Draft them all. I'll let you on the next one, man. If you say something that pissed me off, Bruce, about my Ravens.
I hear you talk, man. Listen.
Hey, man, how many more days we got for the season stuff? I'm going crazy trying to watch this game.
Way too many, brother. Way too many.
Hey, we getting closer, man. We getting closer, though. But
little bit.
I'll hit you back on the next one, though.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Good call.
All right.
But yeah, he hit a valid point. But I know he's a rook, but Zach Edey need to demand that ball too. Get in Jaws' face and be like, look, give me the ball on the block.
Yeah.
Don't be scared.
But I bet the coaches are probably like, nah, we're not playing like that.
Man, get that boy the rock.
Yeah, I think it's
3 shot attempts is ridiculous.
Yeah. Also, with a team that can play fast and get out like OKC can, if you get in the post a lot, you will get guys in foul trouble and you will slow the game down. Like I don't understand.
Thank you. They trying to run. They trying to run with them, and no, that's their game.
That's right. That's right. They are not built for that.
No, like he's right. Like they gotta. I ain't saying run the offense through Zach, but he needs more than three shot attempts, and I guarantee you those shot attempts weren't in the offense.
Agreed. Chief, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
How you doing, man?
Laker Nation, Devil Dog.
What's good, man?
Man,
I hope it was a compliment, not a diss.
No, never.
Oh no,
nope.
I love the Marines. We give you boys a ride wherever you need to go.
Here we go.
Yeah, but
I don't never shit on the Navy. I'd be like, Like anybody that can stay in the water that long and stay sane, I got a lot of respect for them.
Oh, or be out in the field with you guys, like Navy medicine.
Oh man, yeah.
And the SEALs, man. Nobody could touch those Navy SEAls.
Now hold on, man. There's some guys called Delta Force. Back up. Don't do that.
Man, you put 7 of them, you put 7 of them loose in the city. The city better run for cover.
Oh man, what
yes,
you got,
sir.
Chief?
Nah, go ahead.
Oh,
What you got, Chief?
Yeah, you know what? This kind of might be the Thunder's year. You know why? Because they kind of remind me of the 2022 Celtics when they lost to Golden State. You knew they were a good team, but they was missing something. And like with and you know, they barely lost last year. Was it out of 7 that the Thunder lost?
Who beat them last year? Oh, Luka beat them last year.
Dallas. I think it went. I think it did go the distance. Let me pull up. Oh, you got the chat. You got the AI, Bruce.
Yeah, no, I think it was 7 games. Let's see. Y'all go ahead while I look that up.
Yeah, so I think it was. I think they went 7 games, and then getting those, getting that experience, and then when they got who's that? Hartstein and the other guy, the ball guy that used to be with the Lakers.
Caruso. Yeah, he's balling this year too. He ain't getting no notoriety.
None.
He ain't getting no notoriety, but I'm just saying this is a loaded team. And then Bruce, I'm not really sure what they rank both in offense and defense, kind of like that year when Golden State won, because they're kind of one of the best offensive and defensive team at the same time.
Yeah, no, I think they're really, really good. What are the?
Yeah, so that I'm concerned, but I like a Lakers matchup because weirdly, I don't know, weird matchup kind of do it. But any other team, I think they'll take them. I think they got everything. I think what Bruce said they was missing was that second superstar, but Jalen Williams don't have to be. He can give you a superstar effort and superstar results. So so this team, I think they got an edge. I think they got a chip on their shoulders. So they dangerous. These boys dangerous.
Yeah, I think Jalen Williams can develop into that. He's showing the, I ain't gonna say process, but he's showing, I'll say the process. He's showing that there's stages to it. Like when players are not coming in as a star, but graduate to being one. He's showing
right. And they're long. They're long, man. They are really long. They're a long team.
They can switch on everything.
Yeah,
they can switch on everything. And
remember about a month ago they went into Boston on a Saturday night and they beat them. So they are definitely a team that's built for that matchup.
Right.
They beat Cleveland too. They split with Cleveland this year too.
Yep, they did.
Yeah. Yeah, my homeboy, he a little sad tonight. He out there, my homeboy Scotty. He a little. I'm telling him, come on home.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, his son plays for. Oh, that's right. His son plays for the Grizz.
Yeah, his son plays for Memphis. So I'm telling Scotty, hey, fellas, y'all need to come on home. This gonna be a short with the OKC.
Don't tell that man. That's tough, man. Oh my goodness.
I said, come on home.
Yeah.
Said, come on home.
Yo.
Come on home. Yeah.
Chief, the Thunder were 3rd offensively this season and 1st defensively, so they're
that's what there. Yeah. So that kind of reminds me of that year Golden State won, because not only they were good, very good defensively.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So and offensive. So I think this is gonna be a team to be reckoned with.
Yeah, no,
I
think they're
whatever
definitely
Bruce
dangerous.
said, but whatever Brucey said they got missing, I don't know. They might have it this year, because I'm thinking like your 2022. I thought they were a better team against Golden State, but they didn't have Drew Holiday. They didn't have. They were that one piece away. But I knew it. But this year, this team, I think they can get it.
Not mad at that.
Not mad at that at all.
Yeah, I want my Lakers to win every year, but
I do too.
But sometimes I got to get. But I'm not gonna disrespect the Thunder either, like ESPN and all them other people are doing.
No,
they're ridiculous.
I think they're the most dangerous team.
Got me over here sounding like Charles Barkley. How in the hell can you disrespect us? Say a 68 win team ain't a favorite. You got me sounding like Charles Barkley out here.
There you go.
Hey, but Charles be decent though.
Nah, Charles is he got a lot of good stuff to say, man. But no, Chief, you're right. OKC, it's just a function of they have everything they need. The question is if they're ready. You know what I'm saying? Because we see all the great teams have to eventually get ready and make it through, and then once they do, you see what they have the capability of being. But we have to find out if they're ready, and so that's two different things.
Yeah. So but they gonna go back to '93 and come clean like J. Rue the Damager.
You just threw a name out there that a lot of people do not know, Chief. Okay. Oh my gosh, there you go. I like that. That was good.
Make sure Edward gets that one. He needs to do some research.
Edward is going to be like, man, he not trying to hear no parts of J. Rue the Damager. He don't. Nah, that's not for him. That's not for him any more than Young Dolph is for me. Like that ain't it. Oh
man, this hip hop show gonna be wild.
Yeah, it is.
It will be good. It is gonna be
have fun with
that. Might be a 4-hour show that day.
Yeah, you know what sucks though? Real talk is because of the copyright stuff. We're not gonna be able to actually like play any of the music.
Yeah,
we gotta figure out how we're gonna be able to work with that. But you got anything else, Chief? Before we let you go, move on.
I'm good. I'm good. I'll be waiting for the king of the chat later on to grace us with his imminent.
Mm-hmm. Oh my! Right. I knew Edward was gonna say who's that. All right, Chief.
All right.
I think they're ready for the main event.
Yeah. Let's do it. All right, y'all. So as we know, hey man, I don't know what to tell you, Bruce. I don't know what to tell you.
You said you're Southern biased.
Listen,
that's why I said I think that's gonna be a 4-hour show. You better have that in the middle. You better have that in the middle of the day, because don't have it at night, boy. You're gonna be streaming at 1:00 in the morning.
Oh man,
that show gonna be lit. They ain't gonna let you get off.
Man, man, I'll be out. Steve, king of the chat, what's going on, man?
What up, Bruce? What up, Laker Nation?
What up, Stevie Steve?
Hey, I'll probably call back later when you talk NFL, but I had to get this off my chest.
Mm-hmm.
Before we start crowning OKC in round one, which I can see, they look deep, they look good, but I think the real context in this is Memphis is ass.
Well, there's that. Yeah,
Memphis is ass.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I can't sit here and pretend that if they had an opening round with, say, somebody else in the West, a more competent team in the West, we wouldn't be seeing this. I mean, a 50-point game one blowout. What is this shit? This playing stuff has got to go. It's stuff like this is why we don't need it.
Hey, Steve, the players are saying the exact same thing. Like, what's the point of the play-in?
They know. It's ridiculous seeing this stuff. Look out in the East. Look at those games. I mean, it's like, what are we doing here? Memphis happens to be a special, I don't know, trigger for me, because I just can't stand watching them. They're awful.
I don't think
this idea that we build up this. I'm sorry, John Morant is not a star. I'm sorry. It's the truth. The guy had some highlight plays, which I give him credit. He's a phenomenal athlete. I don't look at him as a star. Jaren Jackson is soft as baby shit.
He's
the number two. What's that?
He done fell off. He used to
Yeah,
be a
wasn't he
defensive
defensive
player.
player of the
He
year
used to be a
last year?
defensive
Yeah.
player of the year candidate
Oh,
every year. I ain't
Mhm.
heard
I,
nothing from Triple J this year.
I just think he's soft. I think that was a fluke, that defensive player of the year. I mean, they gave it to him, but most times out of not, I don't agree with the defensive player. I mean, Rudy Gobert won it how many times? Come on. So I don't know. Maybe they did it just to give it to the kid. I don't think he's that guy. Dude, he can't play without fouling anybody. I watched this all the way back when he was at Michigan State. He cannot play without fouling anybody.
Oh,
Like,
Bruce,
sure,
I'm
he
about
might
to
get some
ban your
blocks and stuff, but go
sorry.
ahead.
Sorry, Steve. I'm about to ban Bruce's chat privileges. And he the host of the damn show. Talking about Jaylen Brown, the face of the league.
No. He said, Edward said, let me interrupt you real quick, Steve. Edward said Jaylen Brown's on fire. So I said face of the league, Edward, because we always go back and forth about how he's telling me Tatum should be face of the league. So I'm like Tatum not even there, and the Celtics are not missing a beat. So I'm really just poking fun at Edward. That's why I don't think Jaylen Brown should be face of the league. But go ahead, Steve. My bad.
Oh, okay. You
No,
got
I
your
was being
privileges
facetious,
back.
man. Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, you're good. I'll call back later for the NFL
My bad,
one.
Steve.
Too much. I just wanted to add a piece where it's like, I get it. Everybody's excited. They're the most dangerous team in the West. I push back on that. I think it's the fact that they're playing Memphis. Memphis is just ass. There's no other way to explain it. Like, I don't even know why they're playing this first round. After the first game, you could see right there. It's like, this team don't want to play. I don't think they want to be there. Coach is fired. Their two best stars, quote unquote stars, because I don't look at them as stars. Defensive MVP and all the cute dunks and stuff. Like, Jaw has not increased his game.
No, he hasn't.
He cannot pull up. He can't hit his mid-range game. I mean, if he's not attacking the basket, which he's great at, but if he's not attacking the basket downhill, you ain't going to live on that in the playoffs.
Yeah, he can't.
That's just not going to work.
And he's a knucklehead. So
exactly. Well, yeah, I don't want to touch on that because I don't want to. I mean, I don't want to shit on somebody, but it seems like he's not focused. His focus is not where it needs to be. I'll just leave it at that.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I'll be honest. Memphis is ass. And before we start parading OKC is something special, it's like let's hold ourselves. Let's hold ourselves back. It's round one. They are playing the worst team in the West to get into this position. Granted, they made the 8th seed. Okay, great. But it's like, this is embarrassing. And before I leave, because that's all I've really had on the topic, let's just hold our enthusiasm for OKC a little bit longer. They're still young. When they come across a Golden State or a Clippers or an LA, then we'll see what we're really dealing with here. I just think the lack of what Memphis brings to the table is why they look so great. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But before I leave, Bruce, how are you going to sit here and cherry pick one season and start twerking for the Ravens? The steel curtain had an entire decade.
I'm talking about one. First of all, the Ravens didn't exist back then, so you have that advantage. But I'm talking about single season greatest defense ever. I'm going with the Ravens.
Oh, way to skew it. Single season greatest defense. Who wants to talk about that? Why would you limit greatness when you have an entire decade of pure dominance?
Well, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, what is it? The Steelers and the Ravens, weren't they 1 and 2? I can't remember who was 1 and who was 2 all the way through the 2000s in defense. I believe so.
Oh, I can't remember, but they were definitely always top 3 to 5.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't. They were always. I don't know if Pittsburgh was on that type of run to be in the top 2
I think
that long, but yeah, in that 2000 to 2012-ish era, yeah, it was. They were always in the top 5.
You got what, 3 or 4 Super Bowls out of that defense.
Single season, sure.
Oh no, the decade. You got to go with the decade. It's hard to put the steel curtain in a box because they did it for so long.
Listen,
you can cherry pick a Bears season here or cherry pick a Ravens season here, but when we go totality, rings where it matters, it's a layup. I had to, Bruce.
I'll
I had
my
to.
defense. I will take my 2000 Ravens over anybody. I'm just saying.
For 1 year, sure. I mean, that's fine. But I'll take an entire decade of
and
hardware.
That's fine too.
All right, brother. All right, Laker
man.
Nation. I'll call back for the NFL, the draft one towards the end. But I had a minute, so I wanted to call in. I know the people wanted to hear my voice, so I had to appease. I had to appease the peasants.
Peasants. Oh, dang.
Well, he's the king of the chat, so
Well,
everybody
that's
else,
what it is, man. I did not establish the hierarchy. I was elected as king of the chat. It was a vote. So I didn't appoint myself. This is what comes with it. So that's what I have to do. Anyway, all right, fellas.
Well, Steve, I got one thing to tell you before you go.
Spit it.
Regardless of if the play-in was here or not, OKC and Memphis was going to be the first round matchup anyway. I think Memphis was the A seed.
Yeah, that's true.
They would have had that matchup. You could say the Kings was worse because the Kings had more talent than Memphis, and
excuse me,
they wouldn't even have made the playoffs.
Damn you, Laker Nation, with your facts and your reason and logic, trying to make the King look bad. Anyway, my point stands. Before we start counting OKC, Memphis is dog shit. I mean, but you're right. I forgot that you. Yeah, did they beat? Who the hell did they beat in the play-in? Wasn't Dallas? I can't remember.
Was it Dallas?
Maybe it was. I can't remember.
No, yeah, Memphis did beat Dallas.
They did beat Dallas? All right. Yeah, Dallas was on one leg too. So I mean, it is what it is. But
yeah,
anyway,
Memphis. I think Memphis lost to. Let's see. I think they lost to the Warriors, and Dallas beat Sacramento. Beat the dog piss out of them, and then Memphis beat Dallas only because Dallas was not full strength.
Right. You're right. Always trying to correct me. Damn it. Anyway, my point stands. Memphis sucks. Steel curtain. I'll call back later. Y'all, I'll be in the chat.
No, call back. We can't talk football without you, Steve. Call back.
Hey, I'll be back.
You're gonna love the. There's a disclaimer, Steve. You're gonna love the draft talk when it comes to your Steelers.
Oh, here we go. All right. Well, then I'll definitely call back.
Man, why you sound depressed?
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
You're gonna like it. You're gonna like this mock. You're gonna like this mock draft.
Yeah.
All right. I got faith in you.
All right, Steve. You have a good
one.
All
right, fellas.
But him saying, but him saying Memphis is Memphis is ass and dog shit is crown jewel.
That's funny. All right, y'all. We're gonna get to the final topic here, and we're gonna talk some NFL draft. And obviously, as we know, NFL draft has 7 rounds and tons of players. So it's a tremendous amount of study, which I'm not even gonna lie, I wasn't doing all that. So how we're gonna do, because I was trying to figure out how we address the draft while not, having been able to really dig that deep into all the players available and all the rounds and the trades and all this stuff. And that's a lot, right? That's a lot to ask. So what we did was we looked up some of the first round mock drafts from the different, NFL pundits, right? From the so-called draft experts. Laker Nation chose one. I chose one. And we're both going to go over those drafts with you and talk about the particular picks that stood out to us and what we think we would do in that situation, what we think about them and what we think we would do. So without further ado, let's do that. Why don't you share with the people who you chose as your to go with in your first round mock, and then I'll tell mine, and then we can decide who's going to go first.
All right. I chose, I can't pronounce this dude's last name, but Peter Schrager's mock draft, because it was only close. It was close to my opinions of, who should go where, except for a few. But because to me, this mock draft is not too far off into what the team needs, except for the second pick.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna start with the first pick. That is obvious. Cam Ward going to Tennessee. They have made it known that they want Cam Ward.
Yeah, they made that pretty clear.
The only thing is, how long is it going to take for them to have Roger Goodell come down with that envelope and announce it?
Right.
But tell me in the chat if you agree with pick 2 to Cleveland. Before I announce it, Miles Garrett said he wanted a Super Bowl quarterback, and well, he kind of got what he asked for, but not what he asked for. So I would have.
They did get a Super Bowl quarterback, didn't they?
I would have took Shador here because you need to build your franchise around something with some substance. I would have took Shador here, but the mock draft took Travis Hunter here. So I don't. To be honest, yeah, didn't he win the Heisman?
Yes, he won the Heisman.
Yeah, he won the Heisman and all that. He's got that. He's got that aura around him right now. But 2 overall, no. Cleveland needs help in other areas. I know they're trying to get as they feel with this mock draft is the best player possible. And I'm gonna highlight what he said for this 2 pick. He said that this is a fun one. And he said, I'm hearing that there are a few teams that have been making calls to get the number 2 pick. We might hear more of this in the next 24 hours, which is true. He feels that Hunter can be an elite defensive back from the get-go, but he also has a potential to be a top wide receiver. He's perhaps the rarest prospect we've seen in years. The Browns can and will consider using him on both sides of the ball, which I can see that. They tend to ruin players' careers. Coach Kevin Stefanski and company will get the very best out of him on offense. Do you agree or disagree with that, Bruce?
I really don't like the idea that he's going to play any extensive amount of time on both sides of the ball. I would not allow him to do that if I was drafting him. So like drafting him on the potential of that, I think that's more for the fans. I think it's silly. This is a situation where you're in the NFL, you're playing against the best of the best of the best, right? And so if you're going to be a high level wide receiver or elite wide receiver, you're going to have to put in the time on that craft. If you're going to be an elite DB, you got to put in the time and the study on that craft. Now, I think if you're going to be an elite DB, cool. And then you get in a few packages at wide receiver, but he wants to play extensively. He wants to play both ways. And in the NFL, that's not going to go because of the physicality of the game. He's going to get crippled. If you look at him, he's already not he's a great athlete, an incredible athlete, but he's also not a particularly big guy. I don't think he's going to be able to handle the physicality of trying to do that. I think it's a terrible idea. If you're going to draft him to do one or the other and allow him a little bit on the other side, whichever side is not primary, but not the way he wants it. I do not like it at all.
What do you think about him going number 2 to Cleveland?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't like it. If I'm Cleveland, no, seriously. If I'm Cleveland, I draft Abdul Carter, and I have a nightmare down defensive lineman with Myles Garrett.
Perry and Myles Garrett? Okay.
Right. And then I have Abdul Carter that I could line up all over the place. I could line him as the opposite rush end. I could line him as a rush linebacker, kind of like a Micah Parsons. Really use him in a hybrid role defensively. Excuse me. That's what I would do. I would pair him with Myles Garrett and make life holy hell for everybody else.
Funny.
And they forget that Nick Chubb is coming back healthy. And I believe Cleveland still has Jerome Ford. They're going to be able to run the ball. That's what Stefanski does. So what you need is January Joe not making mistakes, and that could be a very dangerous team in Cleveland.
Yeah, I don't like Travis Hunter going Cleveland at number 2. Not saying he's not worth being a number 2 pick,
Right.
but I wouldn't pick him. Not with Cleveland.
Right.
I was because, and I had this talk today with one of my coworkers. The greatest athlete one of the greatest athletes you've seen in the NFL didn't play full time wide receiver and
Correct.
corner, and that was
Correct.
his coach at Colorado.
That's right.
I would say give him a taste of it in the preseason, and I think that happened to. I think that's what Washington did with Desmond Howard, and Desmond Howard learned real quick that playing two sides of the ball heavy was not going to cut it, and he stayed stuck to playing wide receiver and kickoff return.
Charles Woodson, yeah,
and Charles Woodson too. Because he was good enough to play both sides too. But
that's right.
I think the Raiders did the same thing with him.
Yeah,
they experimented in the preseason, and then he realized I'm gonna stick to defense.
So real quick, let me ask you. Here's the other part. Is there literally enough time in the day for you to do both, like fully? There isn't, right? You can't be in 2 meeting rooms at once. You can't be, practicing with 2 position groups at once. Like, how do you do that?
Yeah, it's not like it's not college.
It's not.
NFL is they pay attention to detail. It's a full-time job, basically. You have to do your, you have to do your meeting. You have to get your meeting rooms. You have to condition for it. So then you got to practice. You got to go to both meeting rooms. Then you got to go to the receiver. Then you got to go to the receivers, have their own practice.
Yeah,
with the QB before
you
they go out
film on both sides. Like,
you got to get your rhythm with the quarterback, and then you got to go. And then you got to go to the DB room. No, it's a lot. It's a lot in the NFL that goes with it. But I'm not going to hijack the show. But talking about Travis Hunter,
right.
But I wanted to see if the chat agreed or disagreed with that pick. But he reminds me more of a Charles Woodson than a Desmond Howard. I think he's a better corner than receiver, in my opinion.
I think so too.
But at number 3, funny you mentioned Abdul Carter on his mock draft. That's who he got the Giants picking, Abdul Carter.
Right.
I don't necessarily disagree with that pick.
Right.
Because they need help on both sides of the ball. I would say give is it Russell Wilson?
Yeah.
Somebody to hand the ball off to.
But you're gonna take a running back at number 3 overall? Like, that's the problem. Nobody's gonna do that in the modern NFL.
Yeah, but the one that can fit their offense is not gonna be there. He's gonna go in the first round, probably late, and we're gonna mention his name later. But I like Henderson from Ohio State. Bruce likes Ashton Genty from Boise State.
I do. Not here, but yeah, I do.
In the Giants offense. But I'm not mad with Abdul Carter going to the Giants. I'm just, and speaking of Ashton Genty, he has him going number 5 to Jacksonville. So
yeah, I guess you probably do that because ATN, I guess, is coming up on contract. So, and he's not a dude you want to pay. He has gotten better, but I don't think that you. Right.
Yeah, this one I don't like. Like Bruce said, taking a running back this high is risky. But yeah, you're not going to pay ATN. You can't pay ATN.
You cannot.
All that money. How many games did he play last year?
Oh, let me see.
You got the chat.
Yeah, I got it over. I'm about to look it up. I got you.
Bruce is like, man. Bruce is like, man. Don't be telling me how to run my show. Come on.
I'm about to look it up for you.
He's like, but yeah, I do like I do like Gentry to the Jaguars. But this is what he said about the pick. He feels like James Gladstone won't be timid in his debut draft, which most of the time new GMs don't. They swing for the fences. And he said with the new coach, Liam, I can't pronounce his last name, Cohn, is an offensive mastermind.
Yeah, Liam Cohen.
So, and they're looking for playmakers, and Gentry is a playmaker. He played 15. Yeah. So that'll be a great combination of Etienne and Gentry. It's gonna be who's gonna get most of the reps, or if they split it next year. If they do draft Gentry.
No.
But that I feel will be a good pick. These next two, they got the Jets getting Tyler Warren and the Panthers getting Jalen Walker. Not mad at either one of those.
That's not bad for the Jets at all. If they can, that's not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not mad at neither one of those picks because Carolina needs some playmakers on defense, and we know what them Georgia boys do in NFL.
Yeah, apparently we do.
And speaking of Georgia, he got Michael Williams, their edge rusher, going 9 to the Saints. Now he does feel like the Bears are going to trade the 10th pick to the Colts to get the tight end from Michigan,
Loveland.
Yeah. So
that's not
I know you spoke highly of him when we were talking college, when we were talking the playoffs earlier. Good. So that will not be a bad pick either.
No, it won't be. And you give a young quarterback another weapon. You got a tight end who not the elite blocker, but he can block some, he can get out in the routes, he can catch it. So that's another weapon for Anthony Richardson, providing he can begin to start figuring things out. And then of course he can always turn around and hand it off to Jonathan Taylor. So that's not bad. Colson Loveland to Indianapolis. That's not bad at all.
Now my Niners got the 11th pick, and we all know that they always go defense first round. But he has Walter Nolan, the defensive tackle for Ole Miss, coming to us to help.
To the Niners.
To the Niners, yeah.
Okay.
To alleviate a lot of that defense that we gave up, which I already knew that we're going all in on this draft anyway. So I'm not too much familiar with this with Walter Nolan. I should have looked him up before, but I didn't have time. So if Bruce can help me do some on the spot scouting on this player. I don't know too much about him because I haven't watched Ole Miss that much this year. Or if anybody in the chat can help me out. But he doesn't. He said he'll be shocked if Nolan fell out of the top 15. And he said he's the fastest riser in the draft. He's quick. He's a people mover, and had a great pre-draft process. And he said everyone is focused on Jackson Dart, which I'll talk about in a minute. But Nolan is the Rebels prospect I hear about more. And he does predict that he's going to go before Mason Graham.
Yeah, Mason Graham is a beast, but I think part of that is the SEC thing, right? It's always that narrative and that kind of groupthink that when in doubt, always take the guy from the SEC, and I don't really believe that. Mason Graham is an animal. Is it Kenneth? They have another interior D lineman from Michigan that's a beast too. Let me see. But yeah, I don't know necessarily because they're looking at Walter Nolan like because he was the number one high school recruit in the country when he was coming out of high school, but his statistical production never quite matched up in college though. So I don't know.
But speaking of Mason Graham, they got him going to 13 to the. He has him going 13 to the Dolphins. I think either way we're going to pick defense, and our stable has been defensive line. So
That's true.
I think we're going to get either one of them. But like Bruce said, I like Mason Graham better.
Yeah, he's a beast.
But he got him. But him going to the Dolphins is also not a bad pick either, because the Dolphins haven't lost too much, and they are a couple pieces away from, being the Super Bowl contender. If only they can win in December and January in in cold weather.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
The second corner that he has coming out of the draft is going 16 to the Cardinals, which is Jahdae Barron from Texas. They got him going to Arizona. I'm not mad at that, because Arizona has been known to draft fast guys and athletes. So
Will Jackson's a beast too. So is Benjamin Morrison. They have some very good cornerbacks that could go early in this.
Yeah. I do see them drafting corner, because Arizona likes speed over there, and they like athletes. So I can't narrow it down to who I will fit their system, but I'm not mad at them getting a corner there.
Right.
The first wide receiver that they got coming off is the wide receiver from Arizona. I can't pronounce his first name, but it's McMillan. And And then they got Emeka. They got Abuka going to the Broncos. He got to the Broncos at 20.
I've seen that. Yeah, I think Emeka Ibuka, man, he's good. He's good.
Yeah, he showed that he can play at this next level.
I put him in the slot. If I'm on a team that has a good or good to great receiver on the outside, I put Ibuka in the slot, clear out everything underneath, and then the other guy can go over the top. I think, yeah, he's dangerous.
Yeah, Bruce. That's why I said I would have took Shedeur Sanders at 2 instead of him with that mock draft of Travis Hunter. I don't know if you heard me.
Jalen Milroe will not be a star.
But now, to all the Steeler fans that are in the chat, we're at the 21st pick. So I was shocked at who he's selecting here at 21 for Pittsburgh, but if you break it down, it makes a lot of sense, because I think Mike Tomlin can handle this guy. I think he can coach him up, and I think this would be the best coach for him in the NFL. And Bruce will hate to see this man twice this in the season.
And who is this?
So they got Shedeur Sanders going 21 to Pittsburgh. And I will doubt there with Tomlin, with DK Metcalf, and those weapons that they picked up in the offseason will help. And Shedeur is a only quarterback that I feel like is NFL ready right now. That if you throw the pads on and tell him to go, that he's ready. I mean, his mechanics are there. His decision making is there. Long as that we can, stop him from that ball tap when he's about to let it loose. Because like Steve pointed out when we spoke about it earlier, that NFL defenses will adjust to that and pick up on it. Shout out to Steve. But if he can stop that ball tap before he let it go, that's the only weakness that we see. Focus, Bruce. Stay out the chat.
I'm just saying. I got you. I'm interacting with the people. Got to get the people what they want.
But I do like that. I do like him there with Mike Tomlin. What are your thoughts on that, Bruce?
Shadur Sanders with Mike Tomlin. So
Yeah.
I actually think that is a decent fit, right? Like I'll tell you when I give mine where I want Shadur, but I do think that's a decent fit because he's walking into a ready-made situation with two high-level, borderline elite wide receivers in terms of DK Metcalf, excuse me, and George Pickens. What they need to do is just continue later in the draft to shore up that offensive line and maybe even get a running back if they can. But I think that Pittsburgh is really, unfortunately, I hate to say it, just a quarterback away from being a difference maker, right? And I think Shadur, let's look at it this way, right? Granted, it was the Big 12, but look at all the production Shadur had in college behind a subpar offensive line getting killed. Now, did he sometimes hold the ball too long? Yes, but for the most part, a lot of that was, deep downfield passing concepts, as well as the fact that the offensive line was extremely porous, right? So imagine now he gets a quality offensive line. He's got two, high-level borderline elite receivers to throw to. I think Shadur Sanders can be an absolute problem. I think that them knocking his athleticism is kind of overrated. I think he suffers again from being Coach Prime's son, so they expect him to be more athletic than he is, but he's sneaky athletic though. It's not like he's a statue in the pocket. He's not. So, yeah, I think that I would hate to see Shadur in Pittsburgh because I think he'd be dangerous.
Yeah, you don't want him there in Pittsburgh. And I think that's the guy Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh wants him there. So they may pull the trigger and trade up to get him. Because I don't think he's going to fall to 21, regardless of what everyone's saying about him. I don't think he's going to fall to 21. I think if they want Shadur, they're gonna have to trade up and get him.
Mm.
But I like
Yeah,
the fit.
because he may not get past New Orleans. But go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think he's not going to drop to 21.
Okay.
But he's going top 10 in my opinion. But if they want him, they got to trade up and get him. But I like him. I like him there in Pittsburgh. Now, speaking of Jackson Dart,
Mm-hmm.
he predicts that a team is going to trade up late in the first round
Okay.
to get him. And I already
Okay.
know how Bruce and Chad and a lot of other people feel about Jackson Dart. A lot of you guys don't think he's going to be a bust, that he's not NFL ready. And the team that I'm going to announce that's going to draft up and pick him, y'all going to, when I announce the team, y'all going to say, yeah, dud number 2. Dud move number 2, fire the GM.
Mm.
So he predicts the New York Giants are going to trade up to pick 26 with the Rams to get Jackson Dart at Ole Miss.
Mm.
When I don't think he's going to get picked. I think he's going to get picked early round 2. Is what I think, but that's what he thinks. And I can't. Y'all would crucify me if I didn't mention Baltimore Ravens. I think y'all need to go two ways: either beef up your offensive line or your defensive
Mm-hmm.
line. Either one or the other. Trade up and get one of them beasts that we mentioned earlier, like Mason Graham, or stay put and get an O lineman. And he agrees. He sticking with the national champions. Sorry, Bruce.
It's okay.
He predicts you guys going to get the offensive tackle Josh Simmons from Ohio State
Okay.
for you guys, and I think that'll be a strong pick for your line to
Mm-hmm.
keep because that's all he needs is a couple seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar, just give him a few more seconds. That's all he needed.
Well, I mean, he's already shown, man. He's absolutely elite from the pocket at this point. Just got to clean it up a little come postseason, but one thing at a time.
Yeah, and that's all of the first round that I really got that I'm not going to go over all 32 of these picks,
Mm-hmm.
but those are the only ones that I highlight that I kind of agree with,
Mm-hmm.
except for the
Right.
I had to announce Travis Hunter. I'd be a dang on fool if I didn't mention him.
Right.
I would like him to fall to 29 and go to the
Mm-hmm.
Commanders of all teams. Because I think he'll benefit and develop better there. And I don't like the Eagles, so.
That's right. You do not like the Eagles.
But I that's who I feel, and I would love when we open up the phone lines if anybody agree or disagree with my opinion on Travis Hunter and Shadur Sanders. Like I like
Mhm.
Shadur Sanders with Pittsburgh, and I like Travis Hunter down here with Washington with the Commanders. But I don't agree. I see it. I see the Giants making that move. I don't agree with it though.
Mm-hmm.
They need a running. They need a running back. Like you got Russell Wilson there. You don't need to give him a year. But if you're not going to go if you're not going to get a Shador, don't trade up for a quarterback. If I'm the
That's fair.
Giants.
That's fair.
All right, that's my takes. Do you do you agree or disagree with anything any of the picks that I mentioned, or my opinions of the picks that I would put in their place, Bruce?
Um, some of them, and you'll see a little bit more so when I give my rundown of the first round and what I think about it. So yeah, some of them, but for the most part, I think you're pretty sound in a lot of your assessments. But some of them, yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go with Mel Kiper Jr. and Field Yates, their first round mock. So I think it's pretty much consensus. Why? Because as Laker Nation said, Tennessee has made it clear that they want and are going to take Cam Ward with the #1 overall pick, unless this is just the greatest smokescreen in history, right? But
I know
we're pretty.
they might pull the wool out and take
That
take
would be crazy.
Shador #1.
Wow, that would be crazy. But no, it looks like Tennessee is going to take Cam Ward, and that's fine. So this mock draft has Cleveland Browns taking Travis Hunter at #2. You already heard me say I don't like that. If I'm Cleveland, and I would take Abdul Carter. I think that's what I would do, and pair him up with Myles Garrett and make an even more dangerous, absolute wrecking ball of a defense there. That's what I would do. Make it an absolute nightmare for anybody trying to trying to play quarterback on the other side. And then later in the draft, you see what you can do about grabbing maybe a wide receiver, or see what you can do over the summer in terms of signing somebody. So I would take Abdul Carter if I was Cleveland at #2. But I guess Cleveland is another team that seems relatively enamored with Travis Hunter based on what we're hearing, what the reports are. And I think they also, if they take him, they're looking forward to the opportunity of trying to play him on both sides of the ball. I don't know how much, but I think I have heard that. All right. Mel Kiper and Field Yates have Abdul Carter going #3 to the Giants. As you heard, I was just saying I would draft Abdul Carter if I was Cleveland. But if I'm the Giants, I'm drafting Shadur Sanders. I think he's that guy. I think you need that legitimate signal caller, and you draft him, and then you cut Jameis Winston. You let him walk, because what you want to do is, if you draft Shadur Sanders and you're the Giants, you can let him learn for a little while behind Russell Wilson. He's going to learn how to be a professional, but all the while, he's a perfect fit for New York City, right? Big smile, big personality, big media market. He's super accurate. We saw what Brian Daboll did in terms of being able to develop a guy like Josh Allen. And Shadur Sanders, while he doesn't have Josh Allen's physical tools, obviously, he wouldn't need as much development as a quarterback. And so you pair him with an elite wide receiver already in Malik Neighbors. And I think you're cooking with gas. You got something special there. So if I'm the Giants, I don't take Abdul Carter because he's going to be off the board. I take Shadur Sanders. That's my thought. Next up, Mel Kiper and Field Yates have the Jacksonville Jaguars taking Mason Graham out of Michigan. And I kind of like this, right? Because we saw, look, sports are copycat leagues, right? Sports are copycat. But we saw Philadelphia win by what? Running the football and building from the trenches. Now, were they also able to get elite wide receiver play? Yes. But if you could build it from the trenches, you need to do that, especially when you just put a ton of money into Trevor Lawrence. So you got to protect him both defensively, right, with an elite defense. If you can get him more possessions, that'll help. And in the trenches offensively, you protect him. But yeah, I like Mason Graham to the Jags. I think that's a really good pick at number 5. Okay, Mel Kiper and Field Yates have with the Raiders, Ashton Genty, which I think is a perfect fit there. Why? We know that Pete Carroll wants to do what? He wants to run the ball. Geno Smith is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league off of what? The play action. And so you got a workhorse back like Ashton Genty, who you can give it to him 20, 25 times a game. And everybody wants to talk about, okay, but it was Boise State, but I think he had 190 plus yards in the second game of the season at Oregon, right? So we know that was one of the better defensive teams in the country. That was one of the better teams in the country, period. By the time they got into the playoffs, they were undefeated and they were the number 1 team overall. And he ran all over them. And I believe Oregon won that game on a last-second field goal. So it's not like Ashton Genty can't play against a better competition. I think he had, I want to say 120 or 130 in the Fiesta Bowl against Penn State. So now you had to take a lot of carries to get it, but against a better competition, it's not like Ashton Genty got shut down. So I'm not super, super concerned about his size like a lot of people are. I think he's 5'8". Maurice Jones-Drew was 5'8". Darren Sproles was 5'8". What do they call Maurice Jones-Drew? A bowling ball full of butcher knives, right? And I think that Ashton Genty can be that kind of player, man. He's an elite running back, and I think he has better receiving skills out of the backfield than the offensive scheme showed at Boise State. So I like Ashton Genty going to the Raiders, and I think Pete Carroll would love that too if he's available. All right. Let's see, what's the next one? So Mel Kiper and Field Yates have Shedeur Sanders going to New Orleans at number 9. Obviously, I had Shedeur Sanders going to the Giants at number 3, right? So at number 9, what you do here, again, trying to win in the trenches, you take Kenneth Grant, the other defensive tackle out of Michigan. He is an absolute monster too. I think he's 6'4", about 335, 6'4", 335. And they're saying that he may even have a higher ceiling than Mason Graham. So you take him and you pair him with not Cam Hayward, the pass rusher out of New Orleans. Can't remember his name, but you take him and you pair him with that, and now you have 2 elite defensive linemen to really give a lot of trouble to your Bryce Youngs and your Baker Mayfields in that division and your Michael Penix Jr.'s, right? So you do that, and you gotta pressure these quarterbacks and stop them from throwing the ball all over the place and stop them from scoring a lot of points. So I think Cam Jordan, thank you, Steve. Thank you so much. So I think that's an important thing. So instead of drafting Shedeur Sanders at number 9, you take Kenneth Grant. That's what I think you do out of Michigan. I really think he can be a difference maker. All right. This mock draft has the Bears taking Tyler Warren, tight end out of Penn State, at number 10. I'm not sure why you do that other than, I guess, best available at this point, right? Now, are you trying to run maybe a 2 tight end scheme like what the Patriots were doing in the mid 2000s with Aaron Hernandez and Gronk? Now, if you could do that, because you'll have Cole Kmet and you'll have Tyler Warren, that could be a dangerous setup and give Caleb Williams another weapon, right? But I think with the way that Caleb Williams got physically beat up last year, you probably should do everything you can to shore up that offensive line. But that's me. I don't know.
Yeah, invest in that trenches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't like it. Tyler Warren going there either.
Yeah, I think you got to protect Caleb Williams. Absolutely. Cole Kmet, go Irish, Steve. I think that you have to do everything that you got to do to try and protect Caleb Williams. And I don't know if Tyler Warren is necessarily the one. He can block. I don't know if he's an elite blocker, but they're going to do what they do. This was interesting to me. Dallas Cowboys at number 12 overall, taking wide receiver Matthew Golden out of Texas. Really fast, great hands. We saw him make some really great catches in that playoff game against Arizona State. He was definitely a difference maker. I'm just not sure if he can be a difference maker on the professional level. I'm iffy on that, but I feel like the Cowboys have so many needs. Like, I can't even tell you who I would replace that pick with, because there's a lot of different ways they could go, right? Maybe you need the best guard you can get, because you have Zach Martin, who is, by the way, another Notre Dame player, and in 5 years from now, he will be a first ballot Hall of Famer, 7-time first team All-Pro. He's retiring, so you got to replace that. So I don't know if you go offensive line here. You got to replace that. You got to protect Dak, and you have to, whoever's going to be the running back, you got to be able to open holes for him. So there's that. At number 13, Miami Dolphins, they've got Will Johnson here. Really good cornerback out of Michigan. I'm not upset at that. I'm good there. Let's see. What's the next one I had?
I'm mad at that either.
Mm-hmm. Excuse
but
me.
mine had I didn't mention the Cowboys. I know.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go back down. But mine had the Funny you mentioned them getting a guard. Mine had them getting Tyler Booker from Alabama.
Okay, not mad at that at all. You got to shore up that O-line, especially, again, you're losing a guaranteed first ballot Hall of Famer. You have to shore that up, and you got to protect Dak. You have to.
You got to understand, Jerry Jones like glitz and glamour over substance. So.
But that's ridiculous, though, because they were at their best when Zach Martin was younger and healthy, and Dak was young, and Zeke was tearing the league up. Remember? 1,600 rushing yards as a rookie, 1,300 plus rushing yards as a second-year player, and that was making things easier on Dak, and they were winning a lot of games. Like, duh. This is common sense here.
But they might surprise us,
Bruce. You had success, huh?
They might surprise us, and they might make some trades and get aggressive in this draft.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
Yeah, you might be right. So Steelers at number 21. Oh, Steelers at number 21. I don't want the Steelers to have anything. No. So remember I was saying earlier about what I think about Emeka Egbuka in the slot. I think you want to be in a position. I don't even think the Steelers have their quarterback situation figured out, but whoever it's going to be, you want to give him as much help as possible. So right here, you draft Emeka Egbuka, and you use him again underneath and in the slot on the short to intermediate stuff to clear out underneath, so that you have DK Metcalf and George Pickens able to really go downfield and do damage. So here, I'm taking Emeka Egbuka at number 21. That's me. Let's see. Now, this mock draft has the Green Bay Packers at 23 taking Shamar Stewart, edge out of Texas A&M. Elite freak athlete, but the production is not there. So I would rather have a little less of an athlete with greater production than elite athlete with minimal production. And I know one of the guy that Transformer said, shout out Transformer, I know the guy that he said he wanted was Benjamin Morrison, cornerback out of Notre Dame, who coincidentally a couple days ago just had his pro day workout. And it seems like there were 25 NFL teams present. And it seems like people were very impressed with what they saw in terms of him showing that he's completely healthy after his recent injuries. Remember, Benjamin Morrison 2 years ago as a freshman was freshman All-America. I think had 6 interceptions and like 3 pick sixes. He's a lockdown corner. So he's a guy that can really get it done.
Yeah, you guys had 2 of them last year.
Yeah, well, he got hurt, and then Leonard Moore, he's the next one. He was freshman All-America as well, lockdown corner. So
yeah, y'all had 2 of them. Y'all benefited.
Yeah, we wouldn't even have known if Benjamin Morrison didn't get hurt. So,
Got me talking about Notre Dame on the show.
well, it has to happen sometimes. But no, Transformer says he wants Benjamin Morrison to go to Green Bay. So I'm gonna leave that there for my guy.
Yeah, that'll be a good pick for Green Bay. Because look where they're paying. Look where they're playing. NFC.
Yeah.
NFC. These offenses, you gotta tackle on them edges, and you gotta cover out there. There's a lot of It's not the trenches like in the AFC.
Nah, it's a little different.
Yeah, NFC is more wide open.
Yeah.
Stop trolling me, Steve.
Okay, so we're going to skip all the way up to the number 27 pick, Baltimore Ravens, right? So this mock draft has them taking safety Malachi Starks out of Georgia. I don't like that. I'm going to show a little bias here. Go Irish. And in all seriousness, if you're taking a safety, if you're Baltimore and you're taking a safety, I'm taking Xavier Watts out of Notre Dame. And the reason why is not because he went to Notre Dame, but because his production is undeniable. He led the nation with, I'm sorry?
No, I was disagreeing with you.
Oh, okay. No, I was saying his production is undeniable. He led the nation with 13 interceptions over the last 2 years. He is an absolute ball hawk, and that comes from originally being recruited as a wide receiver, and then he got converted to safety. So you already have a guy in Kyle Hamilton who's a more physical safety. He could play that strong safety role. He can play in the box. Obviously, when they took him more so out of the box last season, that's when the defense took off. But if you need to, he can play closer to the line of scrimmage. He can help in that. And Xavier Watts can too, but Xavier Watts is elite in terms of forcing turnovers and, playing in the passing game as a defender. So that's the guy that I'm going to take if you're Baltimore and you want a safety. I'm taking Xavier Watts. I'm not taking Malachi Starks. But guess what happens? And I'm not denigrating Baltimore scouting at all, because their scouting has been historically great throughout the duration of the existence of the franchise. But I'm also not going to be the guy who, and I've talked about this going way back on this show since before it was even a YouTube show. I've talked about this. I'm not going to be the guy that just says, take the SEC guy. Just because you're an SEC doesn't mean you're better. Like, the production there of Xavier Watts, to me, is just too much to overlook. So if I'm Baltimore, I'm taking a safety. That's the guy I'm taking.
Well,
yeah.
If they're gonna go defense there,
Mm-hmm.
they need to shore up that secondary, because look who's in your division now. Pittsburgh done got weapons. They just need somebody to throw to them. That's why I'm not mad at them getting Shador. If they trade up and get him.
Right.
If they do land Shador, you definitely better shore up that secondary.
Yeah, no doubt.
You got Cincinnati. You got these are teams you see twice.
Yeah, so why wouldn't I get an elite ball hawking safety? A guy who can literally take it out of the air and go the other way.
Bruce.
Yeah.
You so defensive on debating. I'm agreeing with you. I said if you are going to go defense here, you better shore up your secondary and get somebody, because you got all Pittsburgh. Then I hope they don't go. They're gonna dip away from tradition and start airing it out. But if they do, they got the weapons. And then if Cleveland it sounds like Cleveland is very high on Travis Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to knock some snot out of that boy too.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Right.
So if your division is going away from their tradition, they want to.
They
want to put the air in the ball instead of playing through the trenches.
Right. Well, Baltimore is never going to fully get away from that, right? What Baltimore is doing is showing that they can beat you either way. They can beat you throwing it, as we see Lamar Jackson, as I mentioned earlier, is now elite from the pocket. He's elite when he gets out of the pocket. He can go downfield. He can take the underneath stuff, and then he can turn around and hand it off to the beast for another 1,900 rushing yards, right? So there's really no weakness in Baltimore's game offensively. They just got to iron out some kinks when they get to the playoffs, and I'm sure they will do that. Bruce says Baltimore needs a defense, a game wrecker on the edge. That's the missing piece. That could be it. I'm not mad at that, but I just don't know if I see that outside of Abdul Carter in this draft. I really don't know. It's not that serious. No, Lamar did not get robbed for MVP, but we're not going to get Bruce started. He didn't get robbed. He could have won it, but he didn't get robbed. Anyway, I am going to leave it there because other than that, I'm pretty good with the mock of this first round draft mock. So if anybody has any, if anybody disagrees with anything I said or agrees, you can throw it in the chat. And we are actually about to open up the phone lines and talk to you all a little bit. We'll take a couple calls on this before we get out of here. We thought it was an interesting exercise to look at some of the first round mocks and kind of see where they went and what we would do if we were in those shoes. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, let's go ahead and we'll take a couple calls here, and then we'll get out of here.
Let's get it.
All right, let's go. 904-219-8264. 904-219-8264. What's up, Bruce?
Man, I'm glad we're talking some football, man. I can't wait for the draft tomorrow. I got my popcorn ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, real quick, Shedeur Sanders. I just can't wait for him to prove people wrong. I was watching First Take. He's been slipping in the draft because people saying he's arrogant. That Sanders name, man, carry a fucking load, don't it, man?
It does.
Like, because they saying he's entitled. That's the title of the thing on the First Take thumb tag. That he feel he's entitled, he's aloof, he's how he's arrogant, because he's confident. They don't like that he's confident, and I don't, man. I just the circus around the Shedeur Sanders, the what ifs. But that's, you know what though, it's not like they singling them out though, is they, Bruce? Because they do that to damn near every quarterback.
They do. But
to
your point though, that last name does carry a lot. So I'm sure that plays a role. And like the other thing I was saying, like they get on his quote unquote lack of athleticism. He's not unathletic. It's just that
he's not unathletic.
Right. They just expect that because he's his father's son that he's going to be a freak, and he's not.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But he got his father's everything else though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like shit. They said that shit about Eli. Eli said, "I ain't gonna pay for no damn San Diego." Eli did it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But far as like Shedeur, can't wait for him to they keep saying that's a myth that pocket quarterbacks are dead. That's a damn myth. Pocket quarterbacks are not dead, even though the game is changing. Because Jared Goff proved that pocket quarterbacks are not dead.
Correct. And you're gonna see Penix gonna prove it too.
And pocket quarterbacks are not dead. As long as you listen. Everybody's not gonna be Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But no, Aaron Rodgers was great with movement within the pocket. It wasn't necessary that he was a great scrambler.
That's right. But
his footwork in the pocket. As long as you got good footwork in the pocket, you'll be all right.
But Bruce, look at what we're seeing with our guy though. Our guy can destroy you from the pocket now. So it's like
Lamar, of course.
But Lamar. So I mean, obviously we know about his athleticism and mobility. But he doesn't even use it nearly like he used to. He sits back there diming it up.
Yeah, he say he'd rather, and you better not say nothing about them damn Super Bowl, and I'm gonna go crazy on here.
Look, man, I wasn't going there
you
tonight.
always throw that shit in there. Y'all will be talking about Lamar. Y'all like you can do it. You mad? See, you know how to push my button, man.
I need it because I know he can do it.
Okay, Travis Hunter. Man, that's gonna be tough playing both sides 100%. I mean, the focus is a little different in the NFL. I gotta go to offensive meetings, defensive meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a little too much? But he most definitely a special athlete where though he could do it 75% package. Why would he want to spread himself thin like that anyway? I'll play 100% defense and packages on offense.
That's what I think you should do.
Yes. Now you're trying to play every snap, Travis. It's not going to happen in the NFL. It's not. It's not, man. It's going to be a good thing to see. I think he's going to be pretty good. We'll see. I just can't wait September. Okay, I'm just going straight to the Ravens right now. I know I got that much time. I'm going to get on and watch the rest of the Houston game. Bo Scatterbo. I know he's not going to pick him in the first round, but he's a Raven, man. He's a Raven. But I agree with you. You should get the kid from
fourth round. You take him. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We should get the kid from Notre Dame, like the ball hawk from Notre Dame, like you said. But why do that when we got Darius Washington played big last year?
Well, I was just saying, on the mock that they had, they were taking a safety out of Georgia. So I was saying, right, I was, and he's good, but I was saying, if you're going to take a safety that can take the ball away. And there's no safety in this draft better at doing that than Xavier Watts. So that's why I was saying it's not just because he's from Notre Dame, it's because that production was crazy.
But I hope they get both Scatterable, man. He's like a Raven. I mean, you know, even certain players we look at him like this guy's a Raven. Charlotte Center's a Raven. He'll lay the stick on you. He ain't scared. He ain't gonna make no. Just put it like this. He's not gonna make no business decisions like Wiggins did in the divisional. I mean, I think we should grab a physical corner because business decisions he made in that Buffalo game. Woo! And I watched closely and intently in detail. He made plenty of business decisions. He wasn't trying to crack nothing in that cold.
Well,
everybody, I guess everybody not built like a Rod Woodson, like a
everybody's. That's why Rod
like
Wilson's
who's another tough physical. Who was another tough physical corner that loved to hit like
Starks?
Who?
Starks.
Dwayne Starks, Rick Sherm, Brown and Broner, those type guys. We need something like the boom. We need corners like that.
Right.
Wiggins a finesse corner. So, but yeah, I think he ain't Marlon to bring the stick. But like I said, it's no explosive. We need an edge record, but it's none. Unless we find a diamond in the rough, that's always possible.
Yeah. I mean, good scouts. Ravens got good scouts. They might be able to do it. Yeah.
Where was John Randall drafted? John Randall was drafted like the 5th round or something like that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he was drafted late. Yeah, that's a great point.
So we might find diamond in the rough, but that's what we're missing. Yeah, Kyle Van Nant is good. OA, collectively, we need that record, man. Like Miles Garrett, like a TJ Watt. But yeah, as far as like that, I think Jalen Milroe gonna be better than people think. You don't think so, Bruce?
No, I don't
he's
think
athletically gifted. Hey, you work hard, watch film, you put in the work, get a quarterback coach, you'll get a little better year after year. So he has the potential to do that. He's a smart kid. He's not no knucklehead.
No, he's not.
So he's teachable.
Yes.
I think the kid Dart, he's a he number, another Will Levis.
I can see it.
Yeah, another Will Levis.
I'm not mad at that.
Then talk about the kid out of Texas A&M. He's good, but
Shamar Stewart.
Quick story before I get off. I was looking at Shannon Sharp, he was talking about when T Sizzle was in the draft. You know T Sizzle ran like a 4.9. Shannon say he asked
Ozzy.
This would make Ozzy so good. He say, ask Ozzy, what did you see in this guy? This guy ran a 4.9. Why would you pick him in the first round? He said those 24 sacks ain't doing it himself.
That's right.
Fuck wrong with you. Yeah. T Sizzle was 24 sacks. What is it? Well, you played 4 years or 3?
I think he played 4 years in college, but he set the record. I think he had 26 sacks at Arizona State.
Yeah, he only ran for like a 4.8, and then the combine was just prove that shit don't mean nothing. What's his name? What's the kid Coleman? He ran like a 4.2. He was a bust.
That's a good point, yo.
Yeah, like that don't mean that. Speed. I think speed is overrated in football. I think it's more of quickness.
I don't think it's overrated, but
Arizona loves speed over there.
Yeah, it can blind people. So I
see where you're going. Like, who was fast? Had all this speed, but ended up being a bust.
John Ross.
We could go a million places with that Tavon Austin. Remember Tavon
the early 2000 Rams? They had speed across the board.
Yeah.
With Azakeem and
but they got
all these fast guys, man.
A whole bunch of
Ozzy say, hey, those 24 sacks ain't do it itself. So
exactly.
Like you gotta have
somebody had to go get those.
shit, man. Like certain players, you just can see they got the greatness in them. Who else? Who else was like another talk of the draft? That's about Jackson Dart is another Will Levis to me. I mean,
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, I'm
what
not
about
sold
Gabriel?
on him.
Is the kid from Oregon coming out this year?
He is. Nobody's talking about him, but I like that
Nobody
kid.
is talking about Dylan
He's
Gabriel.
played in
They
different
sure not.
schemes. He's played in different conferences. He's played in different schemes. He played for what?
Dylan Gabriel's gonna be another Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels type player. They're sleeping on him.
And
They're sleeping on him.
He's got a ton of starts under his belt. He can
Got
make a lot of
experience.
throws. Yeah, I covered him when he was still at UCF. So I saw him there. I covered him. And then obviously he went to Oklahoma after that. And then he went to Oregon. So Dylan Gabriel got a ton of experience.
Ashton Genty gonna look scary and go black and gold, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, if he
the
go to
kid
the
is
Raiders?
special.
Yeah,
Look, I sat back one day last week and watched all his man. The kid is special. He's special. It's not a game. It's not a fluke.
I think so.
He's not a fluke. The kid is naturally. The kid is. He's really good. Like, and he want. See the difference between running backs. He want contact. He bringing it.
Mm-hmm.
He bringing the pain. That's the scary part.
Well, but see, here's the thing though. In the NFL, if I'm his running backs coach, I'm telling him, listen, unless you got a corner squaring up to hit you, avoid the contact. Let's make your career last as long as possible.
He's not that big.
No.
You talking about Genty still? You talking about Genty, right?
Yeah, he's diesel and he got low center of gravity because he's only 5'8",
but he's not that big.
Avoid that contact if you can, man.
When you get
the kid Johnson, the kid out of Ohio State, good too.
Which one?
Abdul Carter. Abdul Carter, he told me he supposed to be like another Micah Parsons.
Beast.
We'll see. But you know what? I ain't gonna lie. Even though Pittsburgh out arch nemesis, and I got respect for him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got respect for the Bengals. Everybody, you know what I mean? Because
mm-hmm.
you know, AFC knows they getting three in the playoffs like every year But I love to see Shador in Pittsburgh, man, and that's just wishful thinking.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna last that long. Quick side note:
Pittsburgh move up.
You mentioned Abdul Carter. The reason I believe in Abdul Carter, I just wanted to get this out, is because I watched him in the Orange Bowl against Notre Dame with one arm wreck that game. One arm in the national semifinal wrecked that game.
Okay,
Abdul
so
Carter is a damn animal. Yeah.
Okay, he ain't soft.
No, not at all. He's a beast.
Like, who's the big time linebacker that's supposed to be coming out this year? You usually hear something about somebody that stick out. I ain't been hearing nothing about nobody stick out this year. Have you?
Abdul Carter. He's the one.
Oh, he's a line. He's a down. I'm talking about like the middle. Abdul Carter like Michael Carter.
Okay.
Probably some of them Georgia boys.
Middle coming out this year.
It's probably one of the. I think Laker Nation, right? It's probably one of these Georgia cats.
It's gonna be one of those Georgia boys because they put out linebackers.
Yeah, they do.
So there's no elite corners coming out this year either. I ain't been hearing nothing too much buzz about.
Obviously, Travis Hunter, Will Johnson, Benjamin Morrison, and there's one more.
The one
it's just like 4. Corner.
All right, before I get off, fellas, Laker Nation and Bruce, I need one question. Who y'all think the sleeper in the draft though? Overall, who's gonna be the sleeper? Who's that one player that you saw in college football last year? Like, if somebody get him,
the one that you mentioned, from Oregon.
Who?
The one that you mentioned from Oregon, the court.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
He might be the sleeper because nobody's paying him no attention.
Wow, nobody's paying him.
He's probably gonna go third. He's probably gonna go third or fourth round and then shock the world.
All right, man. You know I'm going bowler hoop, man. If I had the chance to call Ozzy or Eric DaCosta, man,
I tell him draft
I would take a picture that. He will look so good in purple, man. That's just everything about him. Yes, everything that's about him excuse Baltimore, man. So, hey, Bruce, I heard you yawning. Yeah, it's about your bedtime. I already know.
Nah, man. After I get done here, I'm going straight to the garage and get a lift in before I go to sleep, man.
Oh, that's what's up. Oh, you ain't playing, huh?
Nah, I'm not playing, man.
I hear you, man. That's good, man.
Yeah,
hey, the keto, the diet, the diet. I know you still doing your water fast? You still be doing your water fast?
Yeah, man.
That's what's up, man. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good, man. Keep up the great work. Transformer gone. When the game gonna get back together? I know Laker Nation part of the family too. It ain't. I'm just saying like.
Yeah, but I ain't transformed. I can accept that. I'm not transformed. I don't go back and forth with Bruce like transformed.
No. Laker Nation, you've been doing great. You good. I'm just saying, the crew ain't been together in a minute.
Yeah.
Eugene and Transformer, I'm the original three, but Laker Nation family, you good too. I'm just saying, like, everybody must be busy, huh?
Yeah, no, I think Transformer's on vacay right now. He should be back soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I only come on when we completely have different opinions about certain people. That's the only time I probably ask to come on. But other than that, I'm the hip hop shit coming up. So
yeah, we gonna do that, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be lit. That show probably gonna get the most views.
Hey, May 17th, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, first game, WNBA, baby.
Yeah, that's gonna be big.
I hope y'all boys do like a live stream or something so I can talk my trash,
We'll probably do that. You might not want that though, but yeah, we'll probably do that.
Hey, y'all want to hear what we talk about though? Everybody about how we feel about those certain people.
Yeah, we keep that right in there.
Hey, some of the stuff you said about Angel Reese is straight out evil, Bruce.
Hey man, I tell how it is, man.
Well, what evil is it's a little harsh. It's a little harsh.
Hey man,
it's brutal honesty though. This is all respect.
I try.
I thought you got mad at me last night from our heated discussion last night, but
nah, man.
I was fucking with you though. I was fucking with you. Hey man, y'all boys have a good day.
No doubt, bro.
Watch the rest. This good night when you watch the rest of this game, man.
Yeah,
Laker Nation, you doing a great job. When the first show again? When the first show?
This Saturday.
I can't wait. You gonna call?
I'm not using Bruce's show for free publicity, but I did put the link in there if you can't find it because it's brand new. There's no content on it yet, so it might be hard to search for now. So I know what it is.
I'll be ready though. And you had the lines. Is it gonna be something similar to this format and the lines open and stuff like that?
Well, yeah, of course. Bruce is gonna be on the first show.
Oh yeah, really? Oh, yeah. Look at him.
Y'all gonna learn.
I'm trying.
Y'all gonna learn. I'm not gonna give it away, but I'm gonna give you a spoiler. Y'all gonna learn a lot about Bruce on Saturday, about your host.
Oh man, I can't wait, man. Hey man, y'all boys enjoy your night, man. Blessings, brother.
No doubt, man. Thanks for the call, Bruce. Appreciate you.
All right, brother.
Good call, Bruce. Good call.
All right, Chant. All right, bro.
All right, man.
Did I mention Buffalo's pick, Bruce?
No.
I don't think we talked about the Bills. He got the Bills getting Malachi Starks from Georgia.
Okay, mine has the Bills taking cornerback Trey Amos from Ole Miss.
So they both agreed that them build up their safety because that's where they lost the game.
Yeah, they need some help
in that secondary. So I can't go mad with either one.
Nah, I don't think so. Steve, what's going on, man?
I'm back.
Steve, what you got, brother?
Back.
Why is Gemini opening up? Oh, sorry.
Oh no, you're good. Hey, shout out to you. So that was a fun segment. That really was. Just going through I think we're all craving football so bad.
Yeah.
Don't everybody.
We had to figure out how we were going to do it, Steve, because just so many.
Like,
yeah.
But
what happened to what happened to the CFL? I thought the CFL usually be on by now.
It's the UFL.
Or
they're playing. Yeah.
I haven't seen any games.
I don't really pay.
Steve, I keep hijacking your call, man. Forgive me, Steve.
No, bro, you're good. You're good, bro. You're good. My calls aren't that important, trust me. But yeah, I don't really watch that UFO. I agree with a lot of the takes you had, and the way you guys explained why you think so and so and all this. Like, I can't sit here and like vehemently disagree. I have some thoughts on the overall draft.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, first off, the one thing I do disagree. I don't look at Genty the way everybody else does. I know everybody's going to get upset. He's like the fan favorite. I don't look at Genty like that. I don't look at him as a top 10 pick. I mean, if you're in a situation where you need a running back, man, if you really go down the depth of this running back class, you can find somebody in the second, third, fourth round where you don't have to like take that high risk first round, top 10, top 15 running back pick. And I'm not trying to bash Genty. I think he's a tough kid. I wish him nothing but success. But when I look at him, I just do not see that kind of running back where it's just like he stands out so much where you're like, this is the type of guy you go and get in the top 10. He's not an Adrian Peterson. He's not a LaDainian Tomlinson. Hell, I don't even think he's a Bijan Robinson. I just don't look at him as that dynamic of a guy. And in this current in this current NFL, you have to be a standout to be a top 10 running back pick. I mean, he's not a Saquon, and I'm not trying to bash the dude. I don't wish anything bad against him. I just think, realistically, if you're a team that needs a running back, go get the best player on the board and then wait till the second, third round. You can find a running back. I'm not saying having a great running back isn't, essential. It isn't, a big thing for your offense. Of course it is. But we know there's only, 4 or 5 guys in the NFL, if that, where it's like they're that caliber of running back at full health, where it's like they change everything. You got Henry, you got Saquon, a healthy Christian McCaffrey. I mean, outside of like maybe another guy or two, I might not be thinking off the top of my head. It's not like it used to be where you need this 25 carry a guy running back. I think you can go find yourself in this draft. You can find interior guys. There's interior guys that are just better players in this draft. Now they're not the sexy position or names, but it's like, go get yourself the best player on the board. If you're stuck in this, do I take a running back this high? I mean, there's guys. Who is the one guy? That Omarion Hampton from North Carolina. He's not getting enough pub. I don't think Quinshon Junkins is getting enough pub. You can wait in the early, mid-second round to start taking these guys where you don't have to extend and take a high-risk running back at the top end of the first round, but you can just go get yourself the best player. Because sometimes that's just the best. And I see teams have done that where it's like they'll try and stretch and take a running back. That's the one thing I'd push back on. Nothing against Genty. I think he could be a quality NFL guy, but I just don't look at him as like, oh, he's a guy that we got. He's not a top 10 draft caliber guy, in my opinion. There was another cat I was trying to think. You can go get dudes in the fourth round that can give you almost second, first round production in today's NFL. You can wait and take some of them, like that Caleb Johnson from Iowa. He's a stud.
Yeah,
he's from man, he's so underrated. That's my sleeper. I was going to say his name. David Neal, the running back from Kansas. That kid is a dog. And nobody talked about it because everybody was talking about Scadaboo in Colorado this year. He went under the radar because Kansas did not live up to the hype. But when you watch him play, it's like this dude's good.
Mm-hmm.
That was my initial thoughts on the draft stuff. I just don't know if Genty is like, and again, I'm not trying to like bash the small school guys, but I don't know, man. It's hard for me to take a lot of that seriously. He played well in the Oregon game.
That's what I was about to say. I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at your stance if he hadn't continued to do work even against the better teams.
Well, did he? I mean, see, that's what I'd say. Like the Penn State game, I think that towards the end when it was like that game was pretty much finished. He's a volume guy in a small school. To me, that's not necessarily like should be held against him, but I definitely think that's something to look where it's like, what else does Boise have? Their bread and butter is to give him the ball 25, 30 times a game. I mean, you better get 120 yards on that many touches. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a guy in the NBA that's shooting the ball 35 times a game. But you better get your 25. Like, you better. But I'm not trying to sit here and just bash Genty because I don't think he's a bad player. I don't know if there's a running back in this draft that's really worth. And some of these teams that might need a running back, I don't think it's worth stretching. Wait for the second, third round. You can find quality guys that got the production and frankly, a little bit better competition than what Genty did. Now, in the big games, Genty played well. I'm not going to say, try to bash him on that aspect, but the volume and the numbers, I mean, I don't know. In that conference, on that team, they're so good in that conference. Boise's like the top dog. It's kind of not fair.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing is, as a Steeler fan, I have no idea who I want. Like, if Shedeur drops to us, yeah, take him. But we really think Shedeur is going to drop down to 17. Somebody's going to move up and do something to get him.
You never know what's going to happen in these. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think so, but you never know.
I'm not the biggest Shedeur guy. I don't. This is going to sound. I know everybody's going to get mad. I don't look at Shedeur, not as much as Genty, but do I look at Shedeur as a top 5, top 10 guy in this draft? Because he's a quarterback, I know that skews things because quarterbacks are so essential. But on his own, I don't look at him as like one of the 10 to 15 best players in this draft. But because he's a quarterback, I understand where I don't think he's going to drop down to Pittsburgh. Cam, I've been on Cam since midway through the college season. I think Cam's a dog. I obviously think he should go 1. That's just my bias. And I'm not diminishing. I think Shedeur can ball, but I don't think Shedeur, like Bruce was saying, if he goes to the Giants, it's good. He goes to a place where he's got a vet to learn. Because the Colorado system, again, he was in a Big 12, a new Big 12. It wasn't the same competition level. I don't want to take anything away from Shedeur, but he got away with things I don't know if he's going to get away with at the next level, holding on to the ball. Some of their offensive concepts where a lot of their routes were very much downfield routes. I do think he's got a quick intermediate game, which he can do that. But I don't know. As a Steeler fan, like Mbuku sounds good. If Shedeur drops to us, that's good. I'd be fine with that. But this is one of the rare years that I don't really have anybody. I think, first round, this is who we need to go get. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do with Watt, and I don't know what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. But if we can't figure something out with Rodgers, you'd almost have to trade up if you're going to go get Shedeur, because I don't think he's going to fall to you at 17. If you want to go get a quarterback, you're going to have to trade something and work something out. I just don't see Shedeur dropping. What do you guys think about? I saw Brucey talking about it in the chat, and I saw Bruce kind of coming back in the chat a little bit with me. What makes you guys so sold on Scatterboo?
It's not about being sold. I think Bruce, and he probably feels a similar way that I do about him. Just watching, and I'll be honest, I didn't see most of the season with him. I saw that game against Texas, and I was blown away. Yeah. Like, I knew what he was doing, but I hadn't been watching him all year, and I feel bad about that now because I think he was second in the country in production as a running back. And yeah, he's not, elite speed or quickness, right? The athleticism isn't there because there was plays that had he had more speed, he could have broken away against Texas, right? But just watching the physicality, the strength, the in-close running, and all the different things he can do, he's good even though he's not fast, he's good as a receiver out of the backfield. And then watching him, I think literally how he was able to put the team on his back really, really impressed me. And just, the tough guy level of play, I think is just different.
See, I don't know. I'm going to throw a name out there. I put it in the chat earlier. You remember Toby Gerhart?
Yeah, you said it. And I was like,
he's not the
said
same
that's a great
size.
analogy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not the same height, but I think a lot of the similarities were like you see some of these guys who just run hard in college, and you can get away with that in college. But in the pros, I don't think you almost have to have that twitch, especially in the NFL now as a running back. You got to have some twitchiness to some in a phone booth quickness. I don't see that from Scatterboo. And I'm not saying you can't draft him, but I'm not.
Reggie Bush learned that too.
That's right.
What's that?
I said Reggie Bush learned that too.
He sure did, and he was a lot faster than Scatterboo
Reggie
was.
Bush. You had to drop that on me. I feel it, Laker Nation. I'm gonna bring up Jerome Bettis now.
Damn Bush push. I know.
Ricky Waters, baby.
Hey, I'll take Ricky Waters.
You should be a Ricky Waters fan, man. He was.
I'll take Ricky. No, I'll take Ricky Waters.
Go Irish.
He was a dog.
Even with his fumbling in key moments, having, I still take Reed.
Well, I mean, you take the good with the bad. Sometimes the big playmakers they do that. But
you really gonna call in on Saturday because we're gonna talk about the USC Notre Dame.
Are you taking
we talked to, huh? Yeah, I'm
Are
gonna
you
take calls.
taking calls on your show?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay, cool.
You can't have a show without audience interaction.
Well, I don't know. Listen, I don't want to try and tell you how to run your show, but I'm glad to hear it. If I tune in and I hear Notre Dame USC, I'm gonna give my 2 cents. You already know.
Yeah, this is mainly for Bruce and me. I don't want to talk about Notre Dame at all.
Well, you said you gonna bring up Notre Dame USC?
Yeah, because we're gonna do it on air because Bruce be you don't hear it. You don't know how bad Bruce be trolling me on about these trolls. Talking about October, you about to get these foots in your
put foots in them.
I be getting that every day, man. Well, not every day, but
we had some years of pain from y'all. We giving it back now, so it's okay.
Yeah,
well, hey, man, I'll tell you what.
I've been giving it back for the last 5-6 years.
Oh shit, dude! I'm telling you that run from about when did Pete Carroll get to USC? About 2000. From 2000 to like 2008, 2009.
Yeah, it was bad for a while.
Shit, man! It wasn't even like God. That was miserable. I'll tell you right now. The only good game in that stretch was the Bush Push game. I was at that bitch.
You were there?
And I still have PTSD from that. Okay. I'm telling you right now, man, that's
That's 05.
Listen, there's not a woman in my past that broke my heart more than Reggie Bush pushing that son of a bitch across the goal line.
You're not lying, man. I wanted to cry. I remember.
I sat there. We thought we had that fourth and 13 or whatever was it Dwayne Jarrett going up the sidelines? I'll never forget that shit. How do we start talking about this?
Hey, but Texas made up for it.
Man, I'll tell you right now.
When Vince Young walked into that end zone clean, untouched, man, I was
man.
I was so I was sweet.
That might be the most single-handedly.
Man,
that might be the single-handedly most impressive performance in a championship game. I'll stand on that one.
That man literally walked down the field.
Oh,
they walked down the field.
Man.
And I was like,
and you know what though? I got to get
really about to lose the game.
I don't remember his name. That shit would have never been set up if Michael Huff don't stuff Lendell White on that 4th and 2. That was the play. That was what set it all up. Now Vince is Vince Sanity. I mean, he's going to do his thing. But that was the biggest play of that game.
Yeah, because we would have iced it.
Oh yeah, you get that first down, it's done with.
Okay,
that game would have been
okay.
Yeah,
that's
and then
memory lane on this one.
Yeah, then Vince Young walked down the field on us and walked in the end zone, pissed me the hell off.
Yeah.
And ain't been in the national championship
games. Anything else? We got to run, Steve. You got anything else to add, man?
No, that was pretty much all I had. I was curious, Bruce, and I want to hear both of y'all because I know Laker Nation, you're a San Fran guy. Who do you want in the first round? I know you guys talk about, but who do you want? Who would you go and get? If you was sitting in GM, who would you go and get?
I just want to hog on that defense, on that defensive line. So I'll take if he falls to 11, which I don't think, I'll take Mason Graham, or I'll take one of them Georgia boys.
Yeah, I can't blame you. I'm telling you, I will say this before I leave. Abdul Carter's the best player in the draft.
Yeah, but he's not going to fall to 11, so I'm not even going to.
No, he ain't going. Right, yeah,
he ain't falling to 11. He's going to go top.
That kid's the best player in the draft. Like pound for pound, who can come in and play and do multiple things and impact games right away. I think Abdul Carter's an absolute freak. Yeah, and if Cleveland passes on him, and this is nothing against Travis Hunter, he can ball. But if Cleveland passes on him at 2, something's wrong.
Well, it is the Browns.
Want to put down Travis Hunter in any way. That kid is a stud. But if you have the chance to put Abdul Carter on the same field as Myles Garrett and you choose not to, something is wrong with you.
Yep.
But anyway, that's all I had, fellas. I appreciate you taking the call as always.
No doubt,
I hope
Steve.
you both stay blessed. And
You too,
I'll be in
man.
the chat.
All right, man. Have a great night, Steve.
All right.
All right, brother.
And unless Bruce
All right, Joe,
goes unless Bruce goes live tomorrow, I think the next time you're gonna see us is on Saturday when
I plan on going live tomorrow, y'all, and we'll work the draft and we'll kind of watch that together and give our thoughts about it, y'all. So
you gonna do it? Oh, you gonna? I didn't know you was gonna do that. You gonna go? You gonna discuss pick by pick?
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna be there. Let's do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's get it. Yep. All right, y'all. So we're going to leave it right there. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate everybody who was here. As always, appreciate the interaction and appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. Y'all have a wonderful night. And let's see. We got one more comment before we get out of here. All right, there we go. Oh, man, Sneak Attack. Yes, that was a great album. Anyway, before I get locked in on that, y'all have a great night.
Thank you for joining us. Get out the chat, Bruce.
We appreciate it. And we out. Peace.